This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Yeah. Big O, we told you we ain't playing no games, man. It's just truly probably Pablo, Culture, Lord Productions.
Good morning, South Florida.
This is the Big O Show.
You're tuned into the Big O Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio show with Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Friday Pablo in the Big O Show.
Oh, on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll. Locked on the morning show, Big O. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct. Because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live, it's the best of the best. He's got the fans, got the heat, he's the best of the best. Big O, the only talking sports with a style. Break of the morning, it's Big O-N. Thank you for tuning in, keeping you glued in. Stay tuned, because right here's where the rumors in. Same place, because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just state your opinion. Real talk, sports talks, the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it, call him and let him know.
Culture, probably Pablo. Now introducing the man of the hour, Big O, a.k.a. Orlando Gary. Yeah.
We are ready to rock and roll. That's what it's all about. We are at VSS West Pines. Come on out. Join us. We are open at noon. So we're a couple minutes away from opening as always. Appreciate all of you out there. Some of you noticing the intro. It's actually not a new intro. It's actually an intro that is pretty old, except it was, kind of edited down. So,
nice job by you, sir, on the chop, paste, glue, tape together, and
my producer skills are still there.
You made it work, brother.
Still there, man. Ian from Brooklyn goes, feeling that intro. Big O and Bill in the house. Thank you.
That was all O's doing, by the way.
Yeah, well,
he played with that yesterday when we got off the air and put it together.
Yeah. And Lord Productions again. Love to get together with Pablo again to try to do another one and try to. We'll add another intro or two to the show.
Got a little pop, man.
Yeah, and if there's any bands or rap groups out there that want to help us out with a little intro, that would be good too. There's nothing wrong with a little intro action there. NorCal's already love seeing the background at VSS West Pines. Well, NorCal, you're always down here for a game or two every year. If they allow the fans in the stadium and you're down here, you got to come on out to VSS West Pines. It's only actually a couple minutes north of the stadium. We're not far from. How far are we from Dolphin Stadium, from Hard Rock Stadium? Maybe 10 minutes? Yeah, it's like 10 minutes. Yeah, we're right there. So there you go, NorCal. So you know that when you're out and you come on down from California like you do every year, you got to stop and visit our friends here at VSS West Pines. They will definitely take care of you, as always.
Lots of gorgeous glass, bro.
Yes. Lots of gorgeous glass. So if you need some glass, don't be an ass. Get it here at VSS West Pines. All right. So Kareem Williams is in the house. Anthony Giandelletti is in the house. Myron Sanchez loving the new intro. Kareem says would be the best case scenario, but Rosen is ready to start, and we have a real QB issue. Robert Triana says, Dímelo Big O, thanks for making my workday more tolerable. Let's go. Scott says, new intro. Well, kind of, really not, but, anyway. It's new and old, let's put it that way.
Old remodified.
Right, exactly. Feeling that intro, Big O and Bill. Scott, I like Big O. Thank you, Scott. We love you. Let's see. Rich V says, Big O, what's up, fellas? Doll fans, greeting from Daytona Beach. Love Daytona. Matthew Walker, hey, fellas and ladies. Drubo is in the house. Blazer's in the house. And Matthew Walker also says, I just looked it up. It's a 15 to 20-minute drive. I don't even think it's that long. I don't even think it's that far, actually.
If you catch the lights,
yeah, maybe.
You're there.
Yeah, but it's so wide open that the turnpike's right there. You're gone. And the turnpike drops you off like at the stadium.
It drops you in.
Yeah. So, yeah.
On the northeast corner.
Yeah, it's really close. So, yeah, it's a really short drive.
What was the first thing that went
overall.
through your head when you heard Daytona Beach?
Well, Rockville is
Thank
one.
you.
Rockville is one, but I just love that town. Like when I drive into Daytona, it's just like a really good feeling because you're just going to go hang out and have a good time, hit the bars, the beach, the people are really cool. It's just, I don't know. I always get a great vibe from Daytona, even though I have one, shady moment because I was there when Earnhardt died. I was there that weekend for that Daytona. Me and the wife were there, and so that was kind of rough that weekend. And so,
I obviously was. Yeah, it was just supposed to be a couple weeks ago that we would probably still be talking about. Man, that was incredible.
I know the best part would have been having the bands on the show. That's what really would have been the best thing.
But we would
having the bands on the show.
Still be talking like 2 weeks later, still like, wow, that was incredible.
Yeah, some crazy stuff. So we got a bunch of things to talk about today. Fitzpatrick was on the Eric Wood podcast, and he had some stuff to say about Tua. We want to get into that. I want to get into Ho Grant also. Horace has been talking about Jordan and the documentary, and I've got my thoughts on all of that, and I got plenty of thoughts on all of that, so we'll get to those comments. I've got stuff also that I want to talk about on The Last Dance. Definitely a bunch of NFL news around the league, some lighthearted stuff, some funny stuff, some intense stuff to talk about, music-wise too, by the way. Got some stuff that I want to mention. Got a really cool stat, but it's a really cool stat, but it's spun off of something that I don't really care about hearing that much, and so I'll get into that. But, I mean, there's so much to talk about today on the show. Remember, there are many ways to participate on the program. Wow, Ricky Perez wasted no time on the Super Chat. Super Chat!
What's up, Ricky? What's up, brother?
Thank you, Ricky Perez. Ricky actually visited us the other day on Friday at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. Ricky, thank you for coming by.
I know that, dude.
Where'd you get this?
Super Chats!
Oh, gnarly!
And Ricky says, what's up, Big O? Great seeing you and Bill at Acura Pembroke Pines on Friday. Keep up the outstanding job, guys. And Ricky, thank you, my brother. That might be the fastest chime in on Super Chat so far, except for maybe the first day that we got it.
Oh,
well, it took a little bit, actually. No, this was still the fastest one because this is minutes from when we started.
We got a 2 or 3 minute knockout.
Yeah,
is that what we got?
Yeah, it's like, wow, damn, right from the get-go. So
nice job, Ricky.
Thank you, Ricky. Appreciate you as always, and good stuff. So I got a bunch of things that I want to get into today on the program. First of all, let me talk about Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Miami Dolphins and Tua, because I thought it was really, 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 really cool. And listen, I can't tell you how wrong I've been about Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think we've had this conversation many times over, because, hey, I'll tell you when I'm right, but I'm going to tell you every time I'm wrong too, man. okay? Because it's going to happen a lot. I'm a human being. And when they acquired Fitz, I was like, bridge guy, big deal, nothing. He has a ton of turnovers in his career or whatever. And I didn't really look into the leadership part. I didn't really look into his connection with his teammates and things like that. And you learn different things when people are in your team, in your town, and you get to see them every day. I have a little saying that I've done it over the years, that you can watch your manager every day, and you might complain about this manager does this or that, right? But that's because you watch that one manager every day. If you watched every manager in baseball and you were a fan of whatever, dude, Yankees, Cubs, Marlins, Cardinals, you name it, doesn't matter. You watch the manager every day, you would disagree with every manager in baseball. At one point, now, there might be some that you'll disagree a lot more than others. But what I'm saying is, if you watched every manager every day, you're going to disagree. You know what I mean? And so you get to watch people, you get to learn about them. And I learned a lot about Fitz last year. I learned about the leadership, the connection, how people do respond to him. I know what he is as a player, okay? And that was my problem. Okay, that's my biggest problem, and you have to address your problems in life in order to overcome them, right? And so my problem was that I just looked at him, and I looked at his stats, and I looked at that he's really not a winner, and he's not a guy that's going to be leading you into the playoffs or a difference maker or anything like that. But he is a difference maker in another way, and he actually is important. And so he's important in so many ways right now to the Dolphins, believe it or not. It's not because they're counting on Ryan Fitzpatrick to make them a winning team. It's not because they're counting on Ryan Fitzpatrick to take them into a deep playoff run or a Super Bowl run. It's not because they look at Ryan Fitzpatrick as the future, but it's because right now, what Chris Greer and what Brian Flores are doing are establishing cultures, establishing a way of doing things. And that's why Chris Greer hired Flores, because he felt Flores would bring a certain level of discipline and consistency, and he's done that. And that's why when by the way, while I'm a Greer guy and he signed Fitz, I didn't really think much of it. But yet, Greer's job is to look at the big picture of things. And he knew what Ryan could do outside of the stats. Because idiots like me were just looking at the stats and just saying, and I'm the one that tells you stats don't tell you the whole story. I tell you that all the time. And stats don't tell you the whole story about this guy. And you saw what he did last year. He brought the team together. How he didn't start off well, and then they threw Rosen in there, and Rosen didn't play well, and then they went back to him, and obviously the team took off after that. I know taking off is not what we're normally and hoping taking off means down the line, but what I mean is from nothing to actually something, and they ended 5-4. So it was the right move by Flores. It was the right move by Greer, okay? And Ryan Fitzpatrick made all the right moves as a player, as a veteran, as a leader. He didn't bitch and complain that he got benched and that they put Rosen in. Hey, he tried his best. He didn't play well. They put Rosen in. He didn't complain about it. He didn't create any problems. Rosen struggled. They put him back in. He stayed ready like a real pro, and then the rest is history. And so now in comes Tua. So Tua's the guy that has to now prove himself. Tua's the guy that has to now learn. Tua is the future. That's the guy we're counting on to have deep playoff runs. That's the guy we're hoping, holds a trophy up over his head. That's a Super Bowl trophy, by the way. That's what we're all hoping, right? So now Ryan Fitzpatrick's job, and he knew it last year with Rosen, it's the same thing with Tua. And so one of the things that he's got to do is teach Tua, right? And Ryan has a great attitude about teaching Tua. Let's talk. Let's play that soundbite off of Eric Wood's podcast.
Well, I think part of it is they have to take a back seat and have to watch. They have to watch how I operate. Not to say that what I do is perfect, but there are going to be a lot of things that they can pull from me that they like, and there's going to be some things they can pull from me that they don't like and say, I don't want that. But I think I have enough qualities that Miami has seen that they like, and they would like another quarterback to have in them. The other thing in bringing a new guy in that I always try to impress right away on these guys is, like, I am here. Again, zero ego. Like, I have so much knowledge. I've made so many mistakes in this league in terms of dumb decisions and throws, and I've learned how to prepare. I've learned so much about offenses and defenses and the way that guys operate. Ask questions. Like, I'm an open book. Ask me whatever you want. And so sometimes it's up to the younger guy to – courage might not be the right word, but have the courage to come up and ask questions and to not feel like he's a bother or a pain in the butt. And I just try to be open and honest with everything that they want to talk to me about, because I talk to my wife about this all the time. When I'm done playing football, like, if I exit that world and don't either do what you're doing or transition into another role around football, I have so much knowledge in my mind that I've built up that, like, then just goes to waste, you know? So I want to pass on all these experiences and lessons and things that I've learned to younger guys, because when I came in, I had the same thing. I had guys that taught and showed me the way. So
that is Ryan Fitzpatrick. Excellent. I mean, there's so much to go into there. And the one thing is, he's got a great student in Tua there. Because when I led you into this soundbite, I talked to you about how professional Fitz has been from the get-go, and how he handled everything from his struggles in the first couple weeks to Rosen taking over, staying ready, and then when Rosen was, not ready for this, they went back to Fitz because they were trying to win a game, regardless of what some think, and he showed that kind of leadership. And by the way, to Rosen's credit, he has not been a whiner or a complainer either. Okay, now, Rosen is not ready. That's the way it is. So now Fitz knows that he has to teach Rosen and Tua. And Tua, again, just is a phenomenal young man. And he's going to wait his turn like he did with Jalen Hurts. And when he's ready, Flores will play him. Okay? It's pretty simple. It's really not that difficult. And I love Fitz's attitude. And and Fitz is right that the other person needs to have the right attitude. I got no problem with Tua on that one. You got no problem with Tua on that. We all know Tua is just a phenomenal young man. So he'll learn and he'll get ready. And what Fitz was talking about, how he's made all the mistakes. You have no idea how that is priceless. It's really maybe more priceless than the guy that is great from the get-go and rarely makes mistakes and can't talk to you about a lot of failure. Because he doesn't fail. She doesn't fail. They're dominant players. It's like Michael Jordan can't tell you a lot about failure. Magic Johnson can't talk to you too much about failure. You know what I mean? Because they have excelled in their pro careers. They were just amazing. LeBron, had his share of failures, actually, in his first part of his career. So he can share about that. But LeBron really doesn't know about failure as a player. He had failure as a team. Fitzpatrick has failure as a player. That's something that all those other guys, they can't comprehend. And maybe that's why great players have a problem being great coaches. Because they don't know what it's like to be human. Bo Jackson doesn't know human. Just doesn't. It's just one of those things. The guy was a monster at everything he did.
When you're able to run up a wall, you're not human.
I mean, Magic Johnson doesn't fail as a businessman, pretty much. Okay? Forget about individually as a player. So Fitz, his failures as a quarterback, his mistakes, those things are so teachable because he has made all those mistakes. He can tell you how he got fooled by this defense and this kind of coverage and the mistake he made here and how, throwing in this angle or that angle or whatever it is, or learn to throw the ball away. And if it's not there, let it go. The only thing is, he also said there are some things maybe they don't want to learn from. Well, Tua, you see Fitz running around like a maniac? I don't want you to learn about that one. Okay. That is one I don't want from Tua. All right. All that crazy-ass running that Fitz did last year and took on hitters, okay, because there were times where he knew he was going to get hit, and he just threw his body right in there. I don't want Tua to do that, okay? So I'm hoping that the QB coach and the offensive coordinator are going, you see this? Tua, no, don't do this. You see that linebacker? No, slide. No, don't forget about what Fitz did. Yes, he got an extra 4 yards. I get it. But he sold out his body. We don't want you to sell out your body. Run out of bounds. There's a reason why we picked on Ted Ginn forever. He runs out of bounds. Let me explain something to you. He's in his mid-30s, still playing football in the NFL, still running like the wind. Why? Because he ran out of bounds. What we used to make fun of him probably extended his career. Ask Jimmy Garoppolo that he should have run out of bounds. Instead, he took on a tackler and he screwed up his team. Okay? So the failures of Ryan Fitzpatrick are priceless. And now Tua and Rosen get to learn from a guy that's made every mistake in the book. I think that's awesome. I really do. And then you listen to Ryan Fitzpatrick on the Eric Wood podcast, and Ryan has the perfect attitude on this whole, passing the torch type thing because Tua is the future.
I'm really excited. I'm excited that they drafted him. I'm excited because in watching him play at Alabama, he looks like he's a pretty dynamic talent. Just in meeting him a few times, he seems like an unbelievable kid, great head on his shoulders, says the right things, wants to do the right things. So, for me, I'm his biggest cheerleader right now, but I also want to be out there playing. I also want to be on the field, and that's kind of why I'm still doing it, because I still enjoy playing the game. So hopefully some of the lessons I'm able to teach him are him watching me play. But if it's the other way around, I'm going to do my best to help him succeed in the best way that he can.
Yeah, that's an incredible mindset.
That is, that to me is, again, just the ultimate pro. The ultimate pro. That's how the ultimate pro handles it. He knows what he's there to do. He's more than happy, and like any competitor, he wants to play. And he's going to play early on. They're not going to play Tua right away. There's not going to be a great offseason. It's not going to be a perfect preseason. We're not having all the normal mini camps that could help him for timing and everything else. It would be, and the line, you don't even know where that O-line is. What do you think? Virtual meetings do anything? Mini camps to me do nothing. They're just mental reps. That's all they are in my eyes. They don't really they make you better mentally so you know the plays. Doesn't mean you're going to be effective. Doesn't mean you're going to be great. Doesn't mean you're going to suck either. It doesn't mean anything on the physical part of it. That is just mental for you to learn the plays, so they come natural to you when they're called. You're not thinking, you're just running them. That kind of stuff. That's what all that stuff is. Until you start getting into training camp and the preseason and then the regular season, that's when we'll really start to measure where you're at. So, again, you can't throw him out there because of the line. And Fitz will be better suited and better prepared to play behind a line that is in flux and adjusting and all that and going to make mistakes. And, by the way, who is the quarterback that's going to be better suited to tell the right guard and tap him on the ass and say, yo, watch out for that guy over here? It's going to be Fitz. It's not going to be Tua. Fitz is the guy that's played everybody in that division a whole bunch of times. He's faced every defensive coordinator in the NFL, every defensive scheme in the NFL. So you're really not going to fool him. So that's the other thing that I think the average fan doesn't look at. What's better for the offensive line early on also is that Fitz starts. Because Fitz's experience is going to help Robert Hunt. It's going to help Jackson. You understand? It's going to help everybody, every young lineman on this team, okay? Dieter, doesn't matter who it is. They're all going to benefit from Ryan Fitzpatrick starting because he's going to know little things about everybody else that none of these guys are going to know. So you really, if you're a Dolphins fan, okay, as much as we all want to see Tua, all right, as much as I'm dying to get my Tua jersey in the mail so I can, style my Tua jersey like the rest of you out there, what's best for Tua is to sit and learn. What's best for Tua is to watch Ryan Fitzpatrick. What's best for the offensive line is for Ryan Fitzpatrick to start. Because what's best for the Miami Dolphins early on is the bridge that Ryan Fitzpatrick is to the entire offense. He is the conduit to Chan Gailey and explaining what Chan wants to do because Ryan has played for Chan. So early on, who better to send his message and get everybody acclimated and get everybody? We want Tua to succeed. So in order for Tua to succeed, let's get the offensive line in a groove. Let's get their confidence up because all these young guys, they're not going to be confident. The first day Austin Jackson lines up in week 1, that guy's going to need depends. And so is Robert Hunt, is going to be nervous as hell, sweating like a whore in church because the guy's never played right tackle in the NFL. And all of a sudden he's looking at some grown-ass man that's got 8 years of experience on him and has got 4 wives and 4 girlfriends, 8 cars and 10 houses, and he's like a junkyard dog. And you're like, wow, I never saw this in college. Of course not, because the guy across from you was at a frat party last night banging a cheerleader. It's a different life, baby. It's a different life. So let's get everybody built up physically, mentally. Let's get them all in sync. So when Tua is ready, week 6, week 8, week 10, week 12, Flores will know. The team is ready. He's ready. Ryan is ready. We can make the transition. Let's move along. And then it's all done. But we've got to give this some time. This is not something you hurry up. Think about this. You expected the year from hell last year, and it really wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. Thank Ryan Fitzpatrick for that. We expected it was going to be a horrific year, thanks to Brian Flores, who established a culture, who was put in a really difficult situation as a rookie coach, and he was able to rise above all of that and create a strong environment at the end to finish 5-4. We expected a terrorizing year because Chris Greer had torn down the entire team. And then to the point that there was one player that wanted off, and then there was another player you were pretty much forced to trade because to turn down that trade would be asinine. So that puts you in a more difficult, but look what happens. As the year goes on, they filter in more young players, and before you know it, at the end of the year, you're going, wow, you know what? Chris Greer and company found a couple young guys we can build on for next year. Damn, these young guys aren't that bad. They're 5-4 in their last 9 games. Front office must have done a good job. Coaching must have done a great job. Young players were fantastic. They stayed on it. And they got better and better. While everybody was trashing them early on in the year, like, what the hell's going on? They stayed on course. So that tells you that the front office acquired players that have some character. They didn't pick a bunch of meat players and finger pointers. And then the coaching staff put those guys in a position to succeed. Eric Rowe, you can do this. Devontae Parker, you will become this. Eric Gesicki, you will get better. I'm sorry, Mike Gesicki. I don't know why I said Eric. But anyway, all of this turned out way better than we ever expected. So let's give this stuff some time to develop again, and let's trust that Flores knows what he's doing. When Fitz was struggling, he tried Rosen. When Rosen wasn't the answer, he went back to Fitz, and then everything then took off. So he did the right thing as a coach. I love everything that Fitzpatrick said there. If you listen also, you got to listen to the podcast, right? Because I know everybody they probably played only one of the 2 sound bites that I played. I'm pretty sure they didn't play the other one about teaching Tua. Everybody probably played the one of the cheerleader one. And you know what also everybody didn't do? They didn't listen to the podcast, right? All these hosts, their producers got the sound bites, right? Okay? And that's all it was, because the sound bites were part of the article. So let me go get the sound bites. But they didn't really listen to the podcast. In the podcast, Fitz talks about how Geno Smith was drafted, and they forced him ahead of him right away. And he wasn't ready. And so it was interesting how that conversation came about because of Tua. That's why Eric brought it up that, with Geno, they rushed him, when he was in the Jets. And they rushed him back, and they drafted him and put him in there, and he wasn't ready. And it didn't set him up. And Fitz talked about how, when he first got in the league, everything is coming at you at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and you're trying to decipher and catch up to everything. And so you don't want a lot of what happened in that situation. And it's happened in all kinds of situations. I mean, look at the guy we had here for 7 years. They threw Ryan in right away, and he wasn't ready, and the team wasn't even that good at that time. And it was a disservice that you did to the kid because he wasn't ready. He was so green. Now, Tua's not green like Ryan. Tua knows how to play the game. Tua has to learn this game, this speed, these defenses. That's his adjustment is the normal adjustment for good quarterbacks that are coming into the league. Ryan was a whole different ballgame. Can you imagine? Okay, Tua's not ready right now to throw him in there because of the hip and all that. Okay, so that's different. But with Ryan, you had to teach him how to play the position, and you threw him in right away without teaching him how to play the position. That made it that much more difficult for him. You got to learn how to throw a deep ball in the NFL. You got to figure out, pocket presence, which he never has, by the way. Okay, he still hasn't figured out pocket presence because it's not something you figure out. That's a natural thing. Because it's anybody that's old enough to that watched Marino. I don't know how many times you saw Marino get rid of the football right as the defensive end was like right there to sack him, dude. And you're like, how did he see that? And he didn't. He felt it. He knew it. There's a clock in his head that he had to get rid of it. So he knew that a decision had to be made right away or he was going to lose yards. And he wasn't going to do that. He would throw the ball away and say, I'll get you on the next down. And sure enough, he got your ass on the next down. But it was going to be a lot harder to get you on the next down if you put him back 7 yards. Now you make it that much more difficult because now you got to buy yourself another half second to get those 7 yards. And a half second of time in the NFL is an eternity. So it's all about learning. And that's the key here for what's going on with Tua. Give him some time to adjust to the game speed. Give him some time to heal that hip more than anything else. Because I think that kid's going to adjust to game speed and play the game at this level. I think he'll adjust quickly. But I think what's more about it, it's about that hip healing. That's what I think it's more than anything else and why you've got to wait a few more months to play him. But there's no hurry. That's the one thing that I would tell you. Please don't ever think that this should be, something that needs to be sped up. They're not going anywhere right now, so it's fine. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We are out here at VSS West Pines. Where's Jose? I just saw him.
Well, he, I guess, knew that you were going to bring him on, so he decided to exit stage left.
Okay.
You know what, that half second you're talking, dude, think about it.
Oh, don't bother him
it's
there.
It's like 4 to 6 yards. A half a second is 4 to 6 yards.
Yeah.
In the end, that's touchdown or getting tackled and you didn't make the first down. Yeah.
It's a sack. It's another sack. So, Richard says, Big O, most draft analysts and NFL insiders don't think Austin Jackson was a good pick at 18. I hope Greer and Flores got it right. What can I tell you, man? I don't know about most because I talked to several guys that I know in the league, and they like him. So, this is a kid that is still green, still learning the position. You're getting him a year younger than normal, so you may have him long term. He played last year fresh off a bone marrow transplant, so he couldn't really work out, and yet he played the whole season. Didn't miss a game. Didn't miss a snap, and yet he didn't have the strength that he normally would have had leading into the season. He's a character kid, man. Hard worker, all of that. He's just green. He's got to learn. There's nothing wrong with that. From what I hear, there's a lot more upside in him, is what people see in him, is that there's a ton of upside. Supposedly a hell of an athlete. And you got to be a hell of an athlete to play out in an island like that on the left side. You got to be able to move around. Why don't we give it some time? You know what I'm saying? Because I've heard that crap about other players that, it was a terrible pick, and it ends up becoming a hell of a pick. JPP. A lot of people thought they reached for JPP, for Jason Pierre-Paul. Oh, no. I think it was the Giants that drafted him. Giants reached for him. Why? Well, he only has 1 year of tape. And the guy lost fingers, and he's still sacking people. Where are all those people that said JPP? Oh, I'll give you another one. Calais Campbell. He ran a 5:09 or a 5:28 in the 40. Look it up. I'm telling you, Calais Campbell's 40. I'll look it up right now as we're talking. If I remember correctly, because I'm one of those draft geeks. I'm pretty sure it was Calais Campbell. Was it Calais Campbell? Okay, bad 40. Was Campbell the one that dropped in the draft? I think it was Campbell, right? Let me see.
It sounds right.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah, because I want to say he was like the one guy that we were hoping that would go early, right? That draft.
Yeah.
And he slid and was like, yeah, man, we continue. As Canes fans, we continue to see 50th
us
pick.
Not. Right, 50th pick. Arizona picked him. Exactly. It was Arizona that picked him. And he had like a boatload of sacks and all of that. And I swear he ran like a bad, let me see if it's here. Where is it? I'm pretty sure he ran like a terrible 40. And they like, and that like knocked him down in the draft. And I'm like, okay, you guys are going to measure the guy on a 40.
Yeah, and he carried our Canes. He was the guy in that draft. Was like, we have one guy. Yeah. where we used to have 5 or 6, you know?
Yeah. I would like to find the story. It was a while back, so I guess that's why it's a little harder to find. But I know he had like a terrible workout or something like that. Here it goes. Surprisingly slow 40s. Here we go. Where is it? Calais Campbell, 4.85.
Wow.
Okay, I thought it was over 5, actually. I thought it was just over 5. 4.85. So he had like a slow 40, and they were like, hey, this guy's not going to be a good player. And
you would expect a 4.6 the way he moved. You would expect something in that area, right?
And if they have that draft all over again, you think he goes 50 after the career he's had?
No.
He's like top 5.
Exactly. I was going to say top 10, but yeah,
so
probably.
Calais Campbell, I remember a whole bunch of people. Oh, no, he had a bad 40, this and that. I think, didn't Terrell Suggs also, get labeled? Let me see something. Was it Terrell Suggs? Was it Terrell Suggs that had 4,000 sacks in college? And then he had a bad 40 also? I want to say that too. 10 players who proved how little the combine matters, and Suggs is part of it. You see what I'm telling you? These are things, remember, I'm a draftnik, so I'm going to remember all this kind of crap. Oh, Anquan Bolden had a 4.8, and I was screaming for the Dolphins to draft the future Hall of Famer. Terrell Suggs, coming off an NCAA record 24-sack season. And I told you, he had a whole bunch of sacks, was considered locked to be a top 5 pick. He struggled at the combine with a 4.84 40. Okay? So.
Man, he ran the same thing Calais Campbell did.
Yeah. Let's measure a guy at the 40. No, dude, do you watch him play the damn game? That's why when people ask me when I go to the combine, he didn't get to go this year. Next year he'll go, and he'll already know ahead of time. But because I've already said it many times, I don't care about 40s. And I don't care about bench press.
Yep.
And I don't care about the gauntlet. And I don't care about any of that. I go to the combine, and you'll see. During the day, it's almost like I'm hanging out a bit. I go find a couple of agents and things like that. But at night is when I'm going crazy. At night is when I'm hitting the bars and going to talk to scouts and personnel guys and all that, and sit down, have a couple of drinks with them. Well, nowadays, let them have drinks. I will have something.
You're not doing any shots.
No, I'm not doing anything. Although Alexa V wants to do shots over in Cleveland. So, I don't worry about any of that stuff. I go to get, football information. I don't give a rat's ass about some guy benching 40 times. It means nothing to me. I don't care if he ran a really fast 40 or a really slow 40. It still doesn't make him a good football player. And that's why when people Austin Jackson. Bro, listen, I'm just going to call my people in the NFL, and I'm going to ask them, what do you like about the kid? What don't you like about the kid? And they're friends of mine, so they're going to tell me. They don't work for the Dolphins. They don't care. You know what I mean? They're going to look at their reports, and they're going to say, all right, I remembered this, and this, and I forgot this, and this. And by the way, I'm way over again.
Trying to start 10 minutes early to counter your overageness, okay? It didn't matter. You're still running amok, and we're coming up on 45 minutes just about.
Right. You get 45 straight minutes in radio? Ever? Nah. You get 3 commercial breaks inside 45 minutes. So
you, as usual, running amok, bro.
Oh, what can I tell you, bro? What can I tell you? Drewbo chiming in on the super chat. Thank you, Drewbo. What? Super chat.
No way.
Yes way. No way. Yes way.
They were fantastic.
Super chat. Love it. Thank you, Drewbo, chiming in on the super chat. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side after 45 straight minutes of talk. But again, don't ever overreact on articles about one guy is a bad pick or a good pick. Let's wait Let's give him some time. You know what I mean? I remember my boy Omar Kelly gave up on Jakeem Grant right from the get-go, and then he went on to play well. I know he had a shaky year last year, but he turned it around. He gave up on my boy Jay Ajayi right from the get-go. I see nothing. I'm like, dude had a rib injury. Give him some time. He comes back the following year and has 1,100 yards. You can't give up on people right away. These are young players just like you. Put yourself in whatever new career you started years ago, and how good were you at the beginning? Maybe you were probably 25% of what you are now.
Last year, need him.
Huh?
We were so not.
Oh,
we don't need him.
Yeah, no, definitely. You don't need him.
The kid developed,
Yeah.
man. I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah, you got to give him some time. You got to give these kids some time to develop. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side, coming to you live from VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. Come on by. We'll be out here for a few hours. They'll take care. You could walk in now. It's where Spencer's and Barefoot Mailman meets. CBD, baby. Come on out. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Back with more.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
We back. All righty. Anyway, we are out here at VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. Come on by, say hi. Would love to meet you. Come on out here. We do want to remind you that the show is proudly brought to you by Humorous Dental, whether it's Invisaligns or implants. If you're in pain right now, all right, you've got cavities or you need a root canal or something, folks, let me tell you right now, let's get you out of pain, okay? Let's get you back on track. So call Humorous Dental right now. Call Eric Humorous. The family does an excellent job. They will take care of any emergency right now at 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website, and whenever you see them, make sure you tell them that we sent you. Always very important when you visit all of our sponsors, okay? Tell them about us. That is very important. That's a way you can help us. You're helping us by going to one of our fantastic sponsors because that's all we associate with. But tell those fantastic sponsors that you're there because of us, because that's really important for all of us to grow, kind of like Tua. 786-322-1105 is the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. You can chime in on the YouTube chat board, on the super chat here on YouTube, on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, which, by the way, let's see, what do we have here on it? Had it made a UCF took on Nebraska with all its baggage. Oh, okay, you're talking about Scott Frost. Yeah, but it's not like UCF right now. They're already taking a step back without Scott Frost too. So we'll see if UCF can, get back to where they were for a short window. That's the thing. I think the UCF fans have to kind of calm down a little bit. You need to be good for a while before you can brag like you've been good for a while. You know what I mean? You got to be there. And Scott Frost went back to his alma mater. That's what I would say to that listener. And you can't blame any player that goes back to coach or work for their alma mater. You just can't. And he wants to be the guy to turn Nebraska around. Because when he was at Nebraska, that was at the end of their run when Scott was there. So that's probably why he wants to go back and bring it back. That's what Manny Diaz is doing. Not that he's an alum, but he grew up here and he knows what the U's all about. So to him, it's special to be able to help bring the U back. You know what I mean? A guy like Manny Diaz would get so much satisfaction out of turning the U around, because a guy like Manny Diaz, if he turns out to be a good head coach, we know he's a good defensive coordinator. Now he's got to turn into a good head coach. If he does that, the one thing we all know, you may finally have a lifer there, because that may be a guy that wants to really establish himself as a big-time college coach on a long-term basis, and I'm sure he would do it right here. I mean, you can tell the way he talks about it, the way he's passionate about it, and I'm sure Scott Frost is the same way about Nebraska. And why shouldn't he be, man? That's where he went to school. And so his school is down, and several coaches have been there. What was the name of that guy? Was it Pelini that did a half-decent job, right? I think it was Bo Pelini, right? Wasn't that the name of the guy?
That sounds right.
He was winning 9 games. He wasn't doing a bad job. And so that's the best thing they've had since Osborne.
When you have that previous standard, man, of 10 wins every year.
He wasn't terrible, dude.
No.
Okay.
Considering, yeah.
I can't cry. I think that's the guy that did, because there's only been one coach that's been half decent in Nebraska since Osborne. I think it's Pelini.
I don't know if it still holds true, but you remember back in the day, whenever the crowd was at the stadium for a Nebraska home game, a quarter or a half of the state's population was at the game. You remember that old stat?
Yeah. Definitely.
Very cool.
Yes. You are correct. So I would tell that listener there, I can't blame somebody to do that, to go back to their alma mater. I think that makes a lot of sense. Let's see. Okay. I like that. Very nice, NorCal. I'm reading your text now you sent me. Okay, cool. I'll talk to Solo D. Definitely. That'll be cool. Anyway, UCF, you mean the fake national champions? Yeah, those guys.
It's a shame what happened to them, man. If they would have had their starting quarterback, because that kid had some magic.
Yeah.
For college, I'm not going to say,
definitely.
The kid would do some stuff, and
Nothing
without
wrong
that
with being
one
a great
guy,
quarterback in college, bro.
Without that one guy, you know what I mean? That team was a totally different beast.
Yeah, no, you're right. Gio Milian says, Big O, I heard the NFL is going to open up team facilities. What's your take on that? Do you think it's a smart idea? Do you think mini camps will be coming soon after the open facilities? I think so. I think eventually it's going to happen. Look, at one point or another, we've got to get back to doing something in this country. You know what I'm saying? We got to get back to people working. We can't be stuck in our homes forever. But the new norm is different now. That's all. And we all have to learn that when we go out and we go to places, you put on your mask. That's it. It's pretty simple. And if you're going to go to the market or whatever and you want to put on gloves to be safe, be safe. Don't go hanging around a bunch of people that you're in a group of 20, 30 people all bunched up. Don't do that. There are certain things that we can't do. But it's just an adjustment. We have to do it. So, yes, as long as they do it right. See, yesterday I talked about the big three and how Ice-T says, hey, we don't have the testing. We're not going to do this. Meanwhile, baseball is saying, well, we'll check players' temperatures. Do you follow this whole thing? Checking your temperature means nothing. That's just one sign. Doesn't mean you still may have it. You still may be a carrier. So it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? So we just got to do things the right way. So if they're going to open it up, they got to have the testing. Speaking of testing, I've been dying to do it, and I think now I'm seeing where there's places, they don't even have lines. I'm in Pembroke Pines or Hollywood. Where could I go right after this at 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, 3:30 somewhere so I can go get a test right away? Anybody got any tips for me out there where I can go get a test right after this?
Isn't the Hard Rock one of the locations?
I don't know. But I don't know which ones are for like people that have symptoms and then people that don't, or I don't know what the hell is going on and which ones I can't.
You don't know what the criteria is at each individual
I don't
location.
know, like, because I don't want to go anywhere where you know, and I'm not going to lie to anybody and
you
say,
don't want to stand. You don't want to sit in line for an hour and go, you were in the wrong line, like at the DMV, right?
And I don't want to be the guy to be lying and telling something. No, I got a cough, and oh man, there's people that really are sick, and they may need to go. You know, those are the people that need the test. Now that it's kind of calmed down, I'm still dying to take a test. You know, I know one of you told me about a place in West Palm or something, but man, I live down in Dade. So I'm trying to see if I can get something going. But I would love to go get a test. Speaking of lack of contact, all right? This is what I've been thinking about, because this is what goes through my mind. There's a lot of lonely people in the world, okay? What about all those lonely dudes that need a friction dance? What happened to those guys? Those guys they haven't gotten a friction dance in a couple of months. They haven't gone to their nearest Tootsies, Scarlets, Booby Trap, you know, all that kind of stuff. Cheetah, the Cheetah's got like 3 locations. You know what I'm saying? What happened to those people now? What happens to strippers now? What? Oh, they're on video? Okay. So now let me ask you something. If you go to a strip club, for you single guys out there, is it sexy that she's wearing a mask? You know what I'm saying? Now, are the girls going to wear gloves? And do the gloves get in the way of gripping the pole? Or does it help? I don't know. I'm just saying. I was thinking about this because I was telling you last week I love cigars, okay? And I don't smoke as much as I used to, but I still like to go every once in a while, sit down in a cigar bar with the fellas, shoot the crap, and enjoy a cigar. You can't do that right now, right? I don't know how you do that now. You can't be in close quarters with people shooting out smoke, because if somebody's sick, they're carrying that Rona all over the whole place with that smoke. So what happens now with strippers? They can't give friction dances. What happens to you lonely guys out there that need a friction? And by the way, I shouldn't leave the ladies out there. There might be some ladies out there that like friction dances. So what happens now? See, for me personally, one of our rooms in our house is a strip bar. So I just have my wife, once a month dance for me, give me some friction dances. So I can get a friction dance whenever I want. But I'm just wondering, you guys out there, okay? Remember, I do it once a month because my wife requires hundreds. And I can maybe come up with one a month. So I say, honey, I got one. There you go. So I don't know if that's making it rain or that's just a droplet. Not exactly sure what you want to call that, but whatever. I'm just wondering. So what happens to the lonely guys out there that can't get a friction dance? And by the way, how long are they going to keep this kind of restriction going? Because, no, seriously now, on a serious note, this would shut down every strip club in the country. I mean, really, how many guys are going to go to a strip club if they can't get a private dance? Right? 90% of those guys go there, and at one point or another, they're getting some kind of a dance. Right? I think very few of them are actually going for the wings in the sporting event. You know what I'm saying? Unless maybe the strip club has its own sports room. Like the Cheetah has one of those. I think Tootsie's, I don't know if they used to have a sports bar. I don't know if they still have it. I can see that in a way. But, man, strip clubs are going to lose. I mean, they will not bring anything if you can't. How can you get friction 6 feet away? I mean, she's got to have this. Although I will say this. I think Halle Berry can give me a ton of friction if she's standing 16 feet away from me. Okay? She just shakes 16 feet away from me. Yeah, I might be feeling it. I got to tell you. There might be some women that might give me
a lap dance. You ever get a
lap dance?
Yeah, man.
Tons of them.
Yes.
All the time.
Dude,
I told you, I get them at home.
I go over, dude, back in the day, blah, whatever, and I was always the guy, man, I don't know where she's been. So straight up, I don't want you touching me. But, sweetheart, you get up on that table and put your ankles by your ears. Right. I'm here to look. I'm here to see. I don't want you touching me. I don't know where you've been.
If strippers wear NFL gloves, definitely improves grip, Pat in Nashville says. Call of Duty says, I'm like Al Bundy. I beg my wife to stay away from me. No friction dancing for me. Vernon Porter says, I wouldn't mind if they check my temperature. Side says, girls dangers will do home service pole dancing. Okay.
I did see that some strip clubs are delivering food and they have the strippers come to your house and, whatever.
Do they flash you at least?
If I was
no, because that's public indecency. If I was a single guy, I'd save my money. Anthony says no droplets. Richard says the early morning local news mentioned at testing locations you can go with no symptoms at any age open to the public. Okay, so I'm in Pembroke Pines, so I can pull up to Hard Rock Stadium and go get a test? Because Hard Rock Stadium is 10 minutes away, man. It's right there. You know what? I'm going to drive over to Hard Rock Stadium and see if I can get a test. The Orlando cigar bars have tables outside and 6 feet apart. See, outside Super Boom Shack, that makes sense. And are you talking about the Corona? Oh, by the way, we are in the coronavirus, and isn't it the Corona cigar bars in Orlando? Right? Isn't it called Corona, the one that's in downtown, right across from the pizzeria? Or the one by the Blue Martini on Sand Lake Boulevard? Notice how I know these things. Yeah, I think it's called the Corona Cigar Company. The ones in Orlando, Super Boom Shack. I mean, I'm sure there are other cigar bars, but the Corona Cigar Company is the bomb. That thing is awesome. The one in downtown, if you're a cigar aficionado, they have a humidor with Cuban cigars before Fidel locked it down. They're from 1957 and 59, those cigars. pre-embargo cigars. They have them in a humidor. They sell them like $2,000 each. Okay? $2,000 for one cigar. I don't even know if that thing has flavor by now. Myron says, LOL masks, good luck. Strip joints are a tease guy to take your money. Now COVID-19 destroys it. If the Raging Dolphin Maniac, if the stripper was wearing an Arabian Night veil over the mask, it would be sexy. I like that. I like that. Right there, yeah. Because you know what I keep thinking? I keep thinking Octopussy 007. And all those Arabian chicks that were like gymnasts and all that, and they were all smoking hot, and they all had the veils on. And that is a hot look, no matter, even though you're all covered up, it's a hot look. I'm with you. I like that. Let's see. Covering the important topics on the show today. Love it. Yeah, Anthony, these are important topics. Okay? Good afternoon, Big O. I don't know if they're still available. You can try testing in CB Smith Park in Pembroke Pines. Really? That's right down the street. Okay. All right. Jubo goes, that's why we have toilet paper shortage, all the damn pervs. Alex says, Big O, I know you don't watch wrestling, but did you catch the dark side of the ring about the Owen Hart tragedy? No, I did not, sir. I did not, and that's probably because it has to do with wrestling. So, like, I had no – so I guess it's a good one? But what does it talk about? Is it like his drug use or demons that he had to deal with, the poor guy? Anyway, Miami Marlins are doing test at the stadium. They are. Okay. I got to find out because if they're still doing it at CB Smith Park or at Dolphin Stadium, either one is pretty close here. Okay. So there you go. Corona bars. That's right. Diane Mayer says the COVID test felt like when water gets up your nose while swimming. Didn't hurt at all. Okay. Oh, because that's right. Because they shove some swabs right up your nose, right? And they like supposedly they're like tickling your brain.
They try to scratch your eyeball.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's right. They do some like evasive stuff in order to get to that test. Yeah. All right. I got to find out if they're doing it at Hard Rock or at CB Smith. If they are, then maybe I can actually go. Pat Nashville says Quest Diagnostics gives antibody test in my city. My doc faxed them an order. I sent an appointment online, in and out in 15 minutes. I'm dying to take the test, man. I just want to know if I've had it or not. That's all. That's all. I'm pretty sure I don't have it because, I've been quarantined now pretty much, and I only do the same 3 places every week, and we're pretty much away from everybody. So I think I've been COVID-free. But I would not be surprised if I got it at some point a few months back, and I somehow, was able to, thank the Lord, survive it. Because obviously, you see that new thing with COVID now affecting the kids, that's
this inflammatory thing, yeah,
scary stuff, man.
See, and like you talk about us not knowing, they don't know. They don't know if this is like shingles with chicken pox, that they had it and this is the second coming.
Right.
They don't know.
They don't know. They're learning like the rest of us, So that's basically what be going on, man. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, that's 786-322-1105. Getting into a little last dance. You want to take a little break here real quick?
Well, I'm figuring we're at the top of the hour. It's 1 o'clock.
Let's do that.
Get you back righted,
Yeah, let's do that really quick here. Let's take a really short break here, and then I want to talk about The Last Dance. I want to talk about Horace Grant. And I'm going to tell you why Horace Grant, I think, is full of crap. Go ahead.
I cannot believe we were able to stop you.
Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All righty, we are back here at VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. We were going to come back a little earlier, but one of our listeners, Jones, is here, and he actually brought me a cigar. How about that? We were talking about cigars, and he brought me a Romeo y Julieta. I love it.
My favorite.
Yes. It's a
Romeo and Julieta's, man.
Great cigars.
Great
cigars.
Brother-in-law's mother went back to Cuba and brought back the little Romeo and Julieta whiffs that like Clint Eastwood would smoke.
Right.
Man, like a pony Coke.
Right.
Something miniature, like the flavor. Romeo and Julieta, man. Love it.
Well, thank you to Jones out there. I appreciate you, my man, bringing me the cigar. We were just talking about how like no cigar bars are open, and I don't know how they're going to survive. Think about like I was having fun with the whole friction dance thing, but seriously, how do they survive? You know what I mean? Unless you're going to have sex shows, there's no way of surviving. And cigar bars, the what's it called, profit in just selling cigars, not enough. They'll have to like make all of their stores really small because they survive on the liquor. If you notice, a lot of cigar bars have a liquor license. So when you're smoking, you're drinking, and that's where the profits are in the alcohol. So that was very cool. Thank you all. And thanks to, a lot of people come by while we're here to VSS. What would you say? Yo, that's a great cigar. No, he brought me a great cigar. Romeo and Julieta. Are you kidding me? It's a hell of a cigar. Yeah, no, he brought a hell of a cigar, man. No, he did a good job. So I appreciate all of you, and it seems like every week that we're here, we get people to visit us, and always thank you all. And when you come on out here to 12397 Pembroke Road, I was looking at this tray, and I was going, wow, man, you got to have a lot to roll here. So, you can buy yourself a nice big tank of CBD here, and this is the kind of tray where, you can really relax for a while at the house. I'm just saying. They got all kinds of stuff here at VSS West Pines. All right, so come on out here. If you need a new water pipe, if you need CBD for you, for your animals, for pain, for anxiety, you name it, folks, okay? Stress, CBD calms all of that down. It's not a drug. It's not illegal. It's 100% legal, plus all the other things that they've got going on here, okay, at VSS West Pines. They got so many little items. It'll freak you out. So come on by and say hi. We'll be out here till 3 o'clock. If you want to get in, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. Big O, you're scared of that test. Boss up and get it done already. Scared of the test? No, dude, I'm not scared of the test, bro. I'm definitely not scared of the test.
This is some of that more not listening and creating your own narrative, right?
I'm saying, the test I'm not afraid of, my man. I've dealt with things that are... You try having a stent put through, your veins all the way in while you're awake and you're feeling all of that. You try doing that. Trust me, this test is nothing like putting, stents in your heart, and especially that first one that they do to go check and test everything out when they run that whole damn thing through your arteries. You want to feel something funky? You want to feel something freaky? That, my friends, will get you, okay? Whatever that test is and the swabs in the nose, that's nothing, bro.
Here at Crohn's, taking that tube and sticking it down your nose to get in your stomach to suck out. You want to talk about it, dude, it gets like in your throat area, man. It's not cool.
I've had that spinal tap, bro. Trust me.
That is on another level.
I mean, I've done all those kind of things, so I'm sure this test won't be as bad as a spinal tap or running a damn wire all the way through your arteries all the way to your heart. Okay? I'm telling anybody that's done that, you know what I'm talking about. That first time that they go to search everything, oh, wow. Man, I felt everything. The doctor says that some people aren't as sensitive, and then some people are more sensitive. And I was on the more sensitive side, that I would be like the second it got, he goes, some people don't feel it till we get close to their chest. You feel it the second we stepped into your artery. And I was like, yeah, man, it was just like one of those freaky things, because you're just feeling something going all the way through your arm and your chest. And it is
like a bug going through your body, man.
Oh, man, it freaks you out, bro. There we go. Espinosas La Provincias Matanzas is a phenomenal smoko. Well, thank you, sir. I will check it out. If it's an Espinosa cigar, I know it's a really good cigar. Oh, did you see the report that CBD might block the virus? Really? Do you guys know anything about that? All right, well, let's find out. If there's some CBD to block the virus, I need to OD on that CBD. All right? I don't know what that is. What's the CBD that blocks the virus? Because, by the way, can we hire that CBD to block for Tua? If it can block the virus, blocks defensive ends, blocks some defensive tackles, keeps our guy healthy, keeps our guy safe, we're throwing touchdowns, we're winning championships. That's all I'm saying. Won't it be fun the day we get to see Tua raise the trophy and the Dolphins will be back as champions in the NFL? Huh? And we get to thank CBD for blocking his way all the way to the Super Bowl. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, we got another chiming in on the Super Chat. Man of 1,005 holds is always active and always on the Super Chat. I think he's pretty much almost every day on the Super Chat.
I know that, dude.
Thank you.
Where'd you get this?
Super Chat.
Oh, gnarly.
Thank you, man of 1,005 holds. R.I.P. to Shad. Gaspard read up on this guy, a tragic story, but you'll see why not to give up on humanity. Amen, my man. I have that story here. I was going to talk about it. I don't know how many of you know about this. I don't follow wrestling, but I do follow the news, and I follow everything going on. And unfortunately, it's one of those things where when you read the story and you see at least that they were able to save his son, and he obviously that was his first thing, is trying to save his son, and they were able to find his body this morning, because they hadn't found his body till this morning, actually. And so the story, unfortunately, and I'll give it to you now, it says L.A. County coroner has identified the body of in Venice Beach as WWE superstar Shad Gaspard. The body was first seen on the beach by a citizen who called cops around 1:30 a.m. on Wednesday. According to law enforcement sources, we're told officers responded and recovered the body right near the Venice Pier. A short time later, several people were told, family members and close friends gathered at the beach. They were hugging, talking, and crying. At one point, some of the people waded into the water. The LA Fire Department held a news conference Wednesday morning saying the body matches the description of Shad, 6'6", black male, over 240 pounds. And for those of you that don't know, the sad part is that he loses his life. He's a young man, too, and still had a lot of life to live. But the fact that I believe it was 10-year-old son, I'm going to look it up now, but I believe it was his 10-year-old son that they were able to save because they were caught in rip currents, is how the story goes. And then there was another big wave that kind of was the last time they saw him, and he didn't reemerge. And, I've never been caught in a rip current, but everybody tells you about it. And everybody tells you, you swim diagonally towards the the
You
shoreline.
swim parallel.
Yeah,
parallel to the shore. You don't
Right.
go up and back.
Right. You don't
You
go
go
directly.
sideways, parallel, because then you'll be able to get out of that rip current.
Right. And so so they were searching for the WWE star after he went missing during a swim at Venice Beach on Sunday with his 10-year-old son. Gaspard and his son were among a group of swimmers who got caught in a strong rip current around 4 p.m. Lifeguards racing into the water to pull everyone out. Gaspard's son was rescued, but the 39-year-old pro wrestler had not been located. One official working with the LA Fire Department told media that they believe the 39-year-old submerged. Drivers went to scour the area. Helicopters were searching from above. One witness at the scene tells them that lifeguards raced into the ocean. Gaspard directed rescuers to help his son first, which they did, which is what a father's supposed to do. Bless him. During the rescue, we're told another big wave crashed down on Gaspard, and that's the last time he was seen. We're told the photo of Shad's officials are using is in the search. And, okay, there you go. And so, as you know, they this morning when I woke up, there was no news yet. When I was driving here is when I saw it come across my wire that they had found the body, and it was just so sad. At this point, you didn't think he was going to be alive anyways because it's been a couple of days. You don't want to think negative like that, but it's hard to imagine that you're still alive 2 days later after you've been fighting a rip current and you've been, set out into the ocean. And so just a sad story, man. It really is. It's a total tragedy. And again, a hero in the end because he was worried what he's supposed to do. He was worried more about his son, and thank the Lord that the 10-year-old was saved, man. Wow, 39.
Lesson to be learned. This is a wrestler. The guy's probably super strong.
Yeah.
And look what happened with the rip current because a lot of people are, we'll go out, no, it's no big deal. No, man. Seriously, there is no stronger force on this planet than water.
Yeah.
Water is the strongest force.
Yeah, and you can be a great swimmer and still die, man, in a rip current. I mean, it's just... And then there's a part of panicking in a way when that happens because it's natural. It's never happened to me again, but I have to give the benefit of the doubt of anybody that's been a part of it. It's got to be a really scary scene. George says, Big O, your doc must have been a Jets fan. My doc? Oh, you're saying because of the... actually, he's been a listener of the show for a long time. He was actually a fan of the show. Call of Duty one says, I had an oscopy in my urethra yesterday. I wish I had CBD. Well, you could come get it, man. If you want to relieve a little pain there, you can come get your CBD here at VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. The Raging Dolphin Maniac says a Canadian university study determined that if blocked cell receptors, that the virus needs to attach to cells. All right. Rosendo says cannabidiol, is that how it's pronounced? Cannabidiol is an active ingredient in cannabis derived from the hemp plant. It may help treat conditions like pain, insomnia, and anxiety. Yeah, we know that part. I'm talking about the virus, bro. We know all about that because these guys will teach you that here. It'll relieve all of that. It definitely relieves pain because I saw it with my wife and her shoulder pain that I told you guys about a couple of months ago. She had that shoulder pain. They gave her a patch and an ointment, and she used the ointment during the day, and she used the patch at night. And her pain subsided. So I can definitely tell you that CBD will help with pain because I saw it with my wife. Let's see what else. Big O, it does something with AES receptors. He said it was terrifying. That's what Super Boom Shack says. I can imagine, man.
Yeah, you're just hanging out like 20 yards offshore, and all of a sudden, man, you're being ripped to open ocean.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah, definitely. Knowing the NFL, they're going to give teams a better third-round pick if they have proper testing. The NFL eliminated that yesterday. Let's see. I'm talking about the minority thing. Let's go. What else do we have here? I know my wife and I had it in January before all this was happening in the U.S. My wife more than me. I was mild compared to her. Oh, so GP, you had it, huh? So my man Trap Hewitt had the virus. I was sick as a dog. You guys remember a couple months back? It must have been in February or something. And I'm wondering, my wife and I, we both had it. And my daughter had it too. We had like this nasty cold that went through the house. And we all, to this day, are wondering if that was the corona. Now, I didn't have any of those serious type of symptoms, like the dry cough. I didn't have that. I didn't have the fever. What was the other thing? What's that third one that I'm forgetting? But
respiratory issue.
Was it a respiratory? Yeah, yes, the breathing. Yes, I did not have that either. You are correct. The shortness in breathing. Yes, I did not have that. Did not have any of those. But something tells me I may have had it. Who knows? I think a bunch of us had it already. There's no doubt about that. And we just kind of lived through it because, a lot of people are going to survive it. The sad part is we're going to lose a lot more people than we should. Big O, my girlfriend's mother works for Young Living Essential Oils, and she said you should take Ning Exia Red every day for your heart. It's a juice made of wolfberries, which is great for you. I take them. All right, dude. I'm gonna write this down. Ning Zia Red. Okay. Now, Ning Zia Red, is that like some flavor, or is Ning Zia the product's name and then red is the flavor or whatever or something? Just explain that part to me, Anthony. Okay? I'll take anything for my heart, bro.
Fruit punch.
Red, fruit punch. Let's see. Big O, I had it in January. Man. Yeah, you know what? I would not be surprised if a bunch of us had it early in the year because there was some nasty stuff going around. Jay Johnson, guys, anyone starting a little crazy in a lockdown blue state, I am. We have politicized the hell out of it, right? The Republicans are loose. The Democrats are tight about it. Yeah, no doubt about it. Big O, go get checked for antibodies. You can save people. I'm with you, man. I would love to. We got a super chat. Ray Grulong. Ray chiming in. I think Ray is chiming in also every day on the super chat. What? Super chat. Thank you, Ray.
No way.
Yes way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes
way.
They were fantastic.
Super chat. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate you chiming in on the super chat and supporting us. That is very, very kind. Diane Mayer says, I grew up a beach brat and I've been in more rip currents than I can count on. Wow. Closest call 6 years ago when a hurricane was offshore. Waves set were unrelenting. You get tired. Damn, Diane. So you've survived like 6 of them? All right, so you've got the key. What did you do? Because they say, like rip current, you're supposed to not fight it at all. Let it take you wherever the hell it's going to take you. Hold your breath. And then when it spits you back up again, then that's when you start, like what Bill says, you swim parallel. But you do not fight it while it's ripping you. Is that true? Diane, fill us in. You are the rip current buster. 6 of them. Can you imagine? Diane Mayer, she's been involved in like 6 rip currents. This woman goes to the beach. She gets caught in a rip current. The rest of us are screaming bloody murder. Oh, my God, help me, lifeguards. Diane's going, oh, another one. It's another one. I'll swim through it. No big deal. I'll tell Big O about it later. We'll laugh. Like, Diane's the only one that gets taken by a rip current. She's like, been there, done it, overcome it. That's it. The rest of us drown. Diane survives. She's like the stat. She's done it so many times, She's the positive stat, and it's one person. The rest of us are dying in the rip current. That is terrible. Diane, you got to give us the keys. The key to survive. You let the wave bring you in. Okay? So I'm right. You don't fight it at all when you get taken in. You just go with the flow, and then after it's done with you, you can kind of start to...
So you just get up on top, me past back in the day. So your body surf your way in out of the rip current?
I guess. She says that's what she says. You let the wave bring you in. I mean, this woman's been involved in like 6 of them. That's crazy. Oh, wait a minute. She says, I grew up a breech brat and been more currents than I can count on. Closest call was 6 years ago. 6 was 6 years ago. But she says, more rip currents than I can count. So maybe it's even more than 6. She's awesome. Damn. Lisa says, call your doctor and go for the antibody test. So, because the regular test, I just find out if I have it or I don't. But the antibody, I can find out if I had it or I've never had it. That's what you guys are saying. Because at the antibody, you'll find out that you have it also at the same time or that you've had it. Okay, so it makes more sense for the antibody than the regular test. Am I picking it up right here? Not the brightest bulb in the chandelier, but I think that's what you guys are telling me, that the antibody is a better test overall because it'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Correcto mundo? Yes?
Well, you still want to take the test to see if you have it or not.
No, but the antibody test will tell you.
It'll tell you if you've had it.
No, it probably will also tell you. That's probably why they're telling me to do that, because the antibody test will also pick it up. Hey, by the way, you are sick right now.
Yeah, but
right? Is that what you guys are saying? You gotta fill me in here on this, because I'm not no expert here. Clarence Collins goes, Diane, you bad. She is, dude. She's bad. Jay Johnson, guys, are the Dolphins getting a Miami Vice style 3rd jersey? But that's not their thing. That's a Heat thing. That would be kind of cheesy. We don't need Vice, bro. We need Tua. We got Tua. Big O Ningxia, red fights against cancer, helps with weight loss, blood sugar levels, and has antioxidants for heart and eye health. Okay. So Ningxia is the name of the thing. Okay, I got you. All right. I'm going to get it, man. All right. What else do we have here? Same here. I've been in more rip currents in Venice and Santa Monica than I can recall. You got to be smart and a solid swimmer. I would call you guys badasses, too. That's what I would do. If that's true, why not have 1 test? I don't know if that's true or not, GP. I'm just asking, because if people are telling me to take the antibody, not the test, I'm kind of assuming that the antibody will tell you both. If you've had it and if you currently have it right now, you should test positive, right? I would imagine. Flipside Fishing says, I used to surf growing up. Rip currents are no biggie. The problem is people fight it. You just float to the top, swim with the current, and angles towards the shore. Just don't panic. Worst thing to do. Clarence Collins says, that sounds about right to me, O. Big O, do you think they know what's really going on? No, I don't. If you're talking about the COVID, no. I think the experts are doing the best they can in trying to figure it out. I think every government in the world is trying to do their best. I don't think anybody was prepared for this, man. No one. It's not a political thing. That's the part I hate. You got Democrats pointing their fingers at Republicans when they wouldn't have done any better, and Republicans pointing their fingers at Democrats, and nobody would have been prepared for this, man. Nobody was prepared for this. This thing got everybody, got the entire world by surprise. So it's really easy to second-guess everybody when nobody's prepared. And so now all we're doing is making all kinds of mistakes as we figure it out, like we do in life and everything that we do in our. You get married, You don't really know about marriage. You kind of figure it out. You have a baby. There's not a mother or father that when they pump that kid out in the hospital, they're like, what the hell do we do from here on out? I've never been a father. I've never been a mother. And guess what? You kind of learn along the way. You make 8,000 mistakes along the way, don't you? Every father, every mother does it.
So the first one's like the guinea pig?
Yeah. And this virus for us is our guinea pig because we haven't had one since really like the Spanish flu. Like swine wasn't even nearly as bad as this. So we haven't had something since 100 years. So now that we have it, now we can understand it. Now we can prepare for it. Now we can protect ourselves. Now we're going to carry ourselves a little differently now. Now we're going to wash our everybody anymore. You maybe will not shake hands at all, or you'll shake very few hands. And when you do, you'll now be conscious about it, and you'll want to wash them as soon as possible, and you won't touch your face. There's a lot of things, just like 9/11. We never thought we were going to have crazed maniacs fly right into the Twin Towers. Okay, well, now we know that we have fanatical people that hate the way we live, that they're willing to do these kind of things. Now we must protect ourselves. Who the hell was going to be ready for that? Now we got to learn.
We had a chance, though.
I know. Yes.
The FBI,
Yeah.
they knew the people were in those sims just wanting to learn how to fly. Not take off, not land, just fly.
So, it's all about learning. And right now we're all learning about all of this. And if this thing was created in some lab in Wuhan, like I really believe it is, it makes it even worse. Because then they got to figure out something that was just created. It's scary, man. So no, I don't believe anybody really knows everything going on. Because at first they told us not to wear masks, not a big deal. Now they want us to wear masks. Oh, no, it doesn't affect young people. No, it does affect young people. And now it's affecting kids in ways that could kill them. Okay? It is what it is. What can I tell you? Blame China. Oh, well, that's 1,000% correct. You damn right I'm going to blame China. That's who should get the blame. Every bit of this should be pointed at China. Yeah, it was disgusting what China did to the world.
The biggest problem with all this is we don't know. We really don't know crap about this.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. I stopped shaking hands years ago. I always give a fist dap. Yeah, that's probably what's the best thing to do nowadays. Is fist or, hey, what's up? How you doing? The nod, the wink. That's the safest way and the way you're not going to, transmit any kind of
automatic
problems.
door opening companies should see a
yes
huge
influx
of new business.
Yeah.
Should we be investing in these companies?
I mean, yeah. The people that disinfect businesses now, that do all, and that they're going to explode. Definitely. And if you're going to have a regular door, make sure the door pushes out so people can push it with their asses. Because that's what I do. If I know the door is pushing out, then I know that I can push it with my body. I've been doing that long enough for many, many years. If I know it pushes out, I've told you guys this, I get the bottom of my T-shirt and I open the door with it.
If it pushes out, I take my foot, put it at the bottom, and just
but you
push it open.
You can't. If it's flush, you can't get to it with your foot. You're gonna be fit. If the door's not open in any way, shape, or form, you can't open it with your foot. If it's flush.
You're talking about something with a knob. I'm talking about a door like at a store that you don't have to turn the knob.
You put the foot all the way up by the door and.
No, man, you put it at the bottom of the door and just push it open with your foot.
You can't push it open if it's flush. How can you do that? What do you got? Hooks on your foot or something? How the hell do you get a door
that opens and closes? It doesn't have a latch or anything. A door like a business. You just walk over, put your foot at the bottom, and open.
You can't do it with that one. You can't open your foot from the outside. You're not going to be able to do it. Oh, I already talked about that, bro. I already talked about pushing it open, pushing it when it opens in.
Use your
Yeah. But out, you got to use a shirt. Fire marshal requires that doors push out on exits only so people can escape. Oh, so people can escape in fires. Aha. Very good. There you go. Lisa says they finally had us get tested because if my government job, negative for the virus now, but positive for the antibodies, so I did have it last month. Wow. How about that? Okay. All right. That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Is there a reason why we don't have more people doing antibody stuff, with all the number of people that we're finding that had it? You know what I mean? That there's not a huge influx of, hey, let's get their blood.
Well, you got to take one step first. So first we have to get to testing. Then you can get to the antibody stuff because first you got to get, I guess, to find out if people are sick. And so that's probably what they got to do so they can track it and they can try to, because the idea is to test people and then document it so then they can figure out what are the hot spots and how they can treat the different areas. Because certain parts of the country, there are certain states up north in the Midwest, maybe a little more west, like Montana and Wyoming.
Oh, the isolation factor.
Those people, they barely have a problem. You know what I mean? So they've only lost a few people. Now, then again, it helps that your neighbor's 8 miles away. They take social distancing in North Dakota and South Dakota to an extreme. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. Not in Utah because you've got 8 wives there. That's a crowded house there.
The other problem is all the doors. With all the different wives, they have different entrances. You know what I mean? Look how many door handles you're touching.
That's a lot of door handles. It's a lot of door handles. I'm telling you, man. So if a restaurant doesn't have an exit door in compliance with the fire marshal, tell them I'll report you if my food is not free. Okay. I like that. That's a good way of getting free food. Do you know that Steak and Shake gives you free fries?
When did this happen?
It's been going on since the pandemic, I think.
So you just order a burger and a shake?
No. You can drive up, just ask for fries.
And they'll kick you fries with no purchase of anything.
That's it.
Wow.
Yep.
How could they do? Because they always, something, some purchase necessary to get the freebie.
No purchase. Drive up. I'm hungry. Fries. That's pretty cool. I mean, people are struggling.
Considering the situation.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. I mean, so I don't know.
Guess how many people just got up and are headed to Steak and Shake.
If you're a little hungry and you want a snack, pull up to Steak and Shake and tell them, hey, give me some fries. And that's it. And you'll get some free fries.
Go between 2 and 5 and get half-price happy hour shakes.
There you go. Shake and free fries. Flipper 13 says South Dakota is a free-for-all. I know it is. I've watched. What's the name of that biker? It's South Dakota, right? I want to say the bar in South. I've been dying to go to that bar, and especially when they've got that week of concerts at that bar. Something Saloon. Damn it! What's the name of that saloon place? Oh man. Oh, somebody help me out there. One of you has to know which place I'm talking about.
Sturgis?
Sturgis. That's it. Sturgis. Love it. Yeah, I'm dying to go to Sturgis, man. That looks like a really fun week when they have like their concerts. The week that they have a whole bunch of shows there. And hell, the guy that the guy that leads Jackal is one of the guys there on the show, obviously. And he's got a couple of decent songs. Brings out that chainsaw guitar. Yeah, Sturgis. I like that. I've seen the show, too, several times. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, that's 786-322-1105. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. here on the YouTube chat board, on the super chat that's already been active today on the program. I want to talk a little bit about Ho Grant because he has now come out on The Last Dance and talking a little smack with Jordan.
Do you want to take a break? We're 10 minutes. You ran amok again.
All right. So quick break here, and then I'll come back and I'll talk about Ho Grant in 2 minutes. Back with more.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we back. Yes. All right. We are going to take you till about 3 if you want to get in. 786-322-1105. By the way, Anthony, since I see you're still there watching Ningxia, where do I get it? Like Publix, Whole Foods? Where do I get Ningxia red? That's the other thing, Anthony. So tell me, so I know, since this is supposedly good for you, I'd like to buy it, but I don't know where to go. I remember all these intros. Oh, well, Myron, you've been listening for a long time, so you're going to know some of those. Yeah. So while we work on new ones, because we got to work on some new ones. So if you know anybody that's a rapper out there, or they got a rock band out there, I'd like to create a new open for the show. So I definitely want to do that. My buddy went to Deadwood from Vegas and isn't coming back until casinos open here as they are there. Well, hey, man, I don't blame him. All right, let's get into a little Last Dance. Horace Grant. He is obviously not happy with Michael Jordan. Look, this is a series that when you're telling a story, certain people aren't going to look good, okay? The owner, Jerry Reinsdorf, he can talk all the BS he wants. He doesn't look good in this, okay? Jerry Krause, I get it. He's not alive anymore. He doesn't look good in this, all right? There are just certain people that they did things that it wasn't the right thing to do, and it was obvious. And Horace Grant, Notice how nobody is defending Horace. Nobody's coming out in defense of Horace Grant. So Horace Grant is not happy with Jordan and not happy that he was kind of labeled a snitch because apparently he had a great relationship with Sam Smith, and apparently nobody else on the team had a great relationship with Sam Smith in the way that Ho had it. And so he's figured as the guy that gave him the information. Nobody else is fighting for Horace Grant. Now, let's hear Horace Grant, who is pissed off with Michael and the documentary.
As I stated to everybody, that is a downright, outright, completely lie. Lie. And as I stated, if MJ had a grudge with me, let's settle it like, man, let's talk about it, or we can settle it another way. I have never seen, quote unquote, a number 2 guy as decorated as Scottie Pippen portrayed so badly in terms of the migraine, in terms of the 1.6 or 7 seconds. Selfish. I have never seen this in all of my life. When that so-called documentary is about one person, basically, and he has the last word on what's going to be put out there, it's not a documentary. It's his narrative of what happened in the last quote-unquote dance. He said, I was a snitch, but yet and still after 30 or 35 years, he brings up his rookie year going into one of his teammates' room and seeing coke and weed and women. My point is, why in the hell did he want to bring that up? What's that got to do with anything? If you want to call somebody a snitch, that's a damn snitch right there. 90% of it was, I don't know if I can say it on air, but BS. It wasn't real because a lot of things that he said to some of his teammates went back at him, but all of that was kind of edited out of the documentary, if you want to call it a documentary. It's only a grudge, man. I'm telling you, it was only a grudge. And I think he proved that during this so-called documentary when if you say something about him, he's going to cut you off. He's going to try to destroy your character. Charles Barkley, they've been friends for over 20, 30 years, and he said something about Michael's management with the Charlotte Bobcats or the Charlotte Hornets, and then they haven't spoken since then.
All right, so there's a lot of things here. First of all, on going against him, I think the Kerr thing came out, and Kerr actually even talked about how he kind of also went back at Jordan, that Jordan actually respected that, and that's where their relationship grew from that. Okay. As for Scottie, I didn't need the documentary for the migraine. Scottie earned that. It's a bad moment for Scottie, dude. Great players don't do things like that. And you got to also be the bigger man in that moment, and Scottie wasn't. He had to understand that that was the key right there. The coach has to call the right play for the right person. He did, and he couldn't handle the truth. Okay? The migraines are a bitch, dude. I don't really think the migraine stuff I don't think was portrayed in a negative light, but how else do you portray you sitting out of the most important moment in the Eastern Conference playoff game? How do you do that? You can't. There's only one way to portray that, and that was a punk-ass move by Scottie, and that punk-ass move has stuck with him forever. And that's going to be something that's going to stick with him forever. They didn't need the documentary. Isaiah Thomas was an a-hole. I didn't need the documentary. I watched him. I watched his whole career. It wasn't just about Jordan rules. That team and that specific player, I saw him take cheap shots at players in NBA games all the time. Isaiah Thomas was a king-size asshole when he played. You get what you deserve, okay? Scottie Pippen sat out like a little bitch because they didn't call his number. You get what you deserve. And nobody is coming out and saying, Horace is right. Apparently, everybody else on that team thinks Ho Grant was the one that was telling the reporter everything that was going on behind the scenes. Yeah. Nope. There's not a person that is defending Horace Grant on that team. So Horace Grant, to me, sounds like a bitter individual because now he's getting more pub on his story. You youngins are learning about Pippen. You know what I mean? That's old for us. You youngins are learning now about Isaiah Thomas. That's old for us. The whole Grant stuff, that's actually stuff that's becoming more concrete because that was kind of more of a thing that was rumored and talked about and all that. Now it's getting really publicized. And Ho Grant is getting, obviously, the heat from it. And it's Michael's documentary. So he has to have the last say. It's his documentary. He controls it all. I mean, to me, Horace Grant has nothing to stand on. Is getting the negativity that he earned. He should have chose to stay in the game that day.
Oh, and he totally compounded it by saying he'd do the same thing over again. It's dude, it's 30 years. You haven't learned yet?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
The fact that Scotty said I would do it all over again, that's ignorant. Really? So you'd back up. See, at that moment, I get it, Scotty. They haven't paid you. They owe you money. They should pay you a lot more money. But your stupid ass signed a 7-year contract. So you burned yourself. What do you expect a business to do if they have you under a cheaper price and it allows them to better the rest of their team with that money? Of course, they're going to do that. So, I mean, again, Scotty, I don't blame anybody but Scotty. You signed a 7-year contract, and now you want to whine about money? Well, you're the idiot, bro. Nobody signs a 7-year contract.
Scottie Pippen does.
So that's on you, Scotty. You wanted to quit on your team? That's on you, Scotty. I can't help you, bro. You wanted to marry Larsa Pippen? That's on you, Scotty. She's cheating on you and using your private plane to fly Future around to bang her? That's on you, Scotty. Not on me. It's not on you either out there. It's all on Scotty. So, Ho, I get it. You're pissed and you're mad and all that stuff, but my man, you got nothing to stand on. Nothing. Nothing. Myron Sanchez chiming in on the super chat. Thank you, Myron. I appreciate you, my friend, chiming in on the super chat. He says, for all the old intros today, by the way, who's a bigger legend, Jordan or Bruce Lee? Wow. That's interesting. It's two different kinds of legends, and equally, they are. I think they're kind of. I think they're kind of equal, in a way, because obviously Bruce is always going to be the fighting king. Nobody looks at anybody but Bruce Lee as the man, right? Now, as time wears on, that legend fades. It's still big in our eyes because we're the older guys that grew up with Bruce Lee. And so Bruce was one of our favorites. It was like that. A Bruce Lee movie was like something you had to go see. You know, when you were a kid back in those days, you had to watch Bruce Lee movies, okay? But Jordan, now young people aren't watching Jordan, but they're living his life in a way with the highlights, with the stories from their parents and their older brothers and uncles and all that stuff. It's not really something that happens with Bruce. Plus, they're wearing his shoes. And young people love Jordans. So, in a way, Michael's legend is probably longer lasting than Bruce Lee's, and probably it probably reaches more younger generations. But both in their heyday, in their peak, I don't know, I could argue that Bruce is bigger because it was kind of a worldwide thing with Bruce for a certain time. Now it's a great question. But I think there's because there are two different genres and because it's also different eras, it's kind of hard to measure, Myron. You know? But it's an interesting question. Because they're both the kind of legends that kids look up to and kids are dying to be. I mean, everybody wanted to be like Mike and everybody wanted to be like Bruce too. Okay? You got out of a Bruce Lee movie and you felt like you could fight 10 people. You know, it's just one of those kind of deals with Bruce Lee. So, yeah, I would have to lean slightly, I guess, to Jordan, but they're both kind of the same, you know? Omar Lopez says, Big O, Uncle Luke, and Alonzo Highsmith are hosting a Zoom party at 8 p.m. tonight on his Facebook account with Ed Reed, Edrin James, Warren Sapp, DJ Williams, and Lamar Thomas. That'll be fun. That should be a lot of fun, a UM type of a deal. That should be cool. So once again, Myron Sanchez, thank you, sir, for the super chat. I appreciate you chiming in on the super chat, Myron.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chats.
Oh, gnarly. Awesome. Totally awesome.
All right, let's get back on time. It is 2 o'clock. We do want to remind you that Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines will be out there on Friday as a proud sponsor, folks. You can get the ILX right now for $239, the RDX $379, the MDX $409, only $29.99 do it signing plus tax tag and registration. They're offering you $750 off for first responders, $750 off for military veterans, $500 for graduates, folks. So many ways to save, and you can purchase your car by phone. So you can call the folks at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines, make the purchase by phone, wait at home. You don't have to wait at the dealership, and they'll drive the car to you. How about that? That's another way of buying your car, getting a great deal at a great dealership. Tell them that Big O sent you, plus you'll be safe at home. How about that? So check it out for yourself at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Yeah. Big O, we told you we ain't playing no games, man. It's just truly probably Pablo, Culture, Lord Productions.
Good morning, South Florida.
This is the Big O Show.
You're tuned into the Big O Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio show with Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Spotty Pablo in the Big O Show.
Oh, on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll. Locked on the morning show, Big O. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct. Because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live, it's the best of the best. He's got the fans, got the heat, he's the best of the best. Big O, the only talking sports with a style.
Break it a morning, it's Big O-N. Thank you for tuning in, keeping you glued in. Stay tuned, because right here's where the woman's in. Same place, because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just state your opinion. Real talk, sports talks, the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it, call him and let him know. Culture, probably Pablo, now introducing the man of the hour. Big O, a.k.a. Orlando Gary. Yeah.
All right, we back. Yes, sir. Final hour of the program.
We got to play some music.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And we're not going to get in trouble with
Right.
YouTube.
Yeah, no, it's our music. Yes, exactly. Yes. If you guys want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line 786-322-1105. You can reach out on our YouTube chat board. You can also chime in on the super chat on Twitter at Big O Show. Email Orlando at BigORadioshow.com. Orlando at BigORadioshow.com. So many ways to contact us if you got something to say.
Can I just say they are jamming big time today here at
the
VSS.
music. Yes.
Yeah, it has been.
They always have great music
just
here.
like outrageous.
Well, the ambiance in this place is phenomenal. It always is. You know?
We have a great time. It's actually fun.
Yep. RVA in Richmond says, you go, Big O. QM big topic this morning was podcast. Know why? Because you're kicking ass, dog. Go get them. That's all right. It's all good. They got good people over there, man. They just got a terrible company. That's all. They just work for a terrible company. That's all. But there's good people on there, man. What's up, O? Sam Aguavon's still on the team. Haven't heard anything about him. I mean, why would you hear anything? There's nothing to hear right now. Nobody's doing anything. He will be battling everybody else, my brother, for playing time in a rotation. You gotta have depth, my man. And that's one thing that they're doing. You know? So that's the beauty that they are what's it called? I think they're doing it the right way. And with Aguavon, now you have another guy that can give you some serious depth on your team, or maybe he's good enough to be a starter. You never know. Let's see. All right. I forgot he was a Jets fan. No wonder why he left the set. LOL. Oh, okay. You're talking about Mike Greenberg. Yes. Definitely. All right, so there you go. Some of our texts on the text line there. If you want to get in, you can do that, and we will definitely answer some of your questions there, as always. Oh, you should have a theme song contest, just saying. I don't know if we could get enough people to get into a contest. If you guys think you can create a creative open, hells to the yeah. I got no problem with that.
I'm going to say that ain't going to happen because remember, a bunch of our listeners were supposed to be recording their kids doing the Big O thing.
Yes.
And we were going to put together a little,
That's right.
thing and stuff and mix it up.
That's right.
Never came to fruition.
Yeah, some of you guys said you had your kids singing the theme song, all that stuff. Well, get them to sing the theme song, put it on audio, send it to Orlando at bigoradioshow.com. You can send it to the email. At the email, you can send me whatever you want there, man. Videos, pictures, whatever. Good stuff. Speaking of pictures, I did not mention this. Was it yesterday or the day before? Oh, it was the day before that. Do you know who Paige Spiriniak is? No, right?
I have no clue.
Okay. Well, why would you, right? I mean, most people are not going to really know, who she is. She is a golfer.
Is she the blonde golfer?
Yes.
I know who she is.
All right. Well, Paige, I just want to thank Paige because, she's been putting together thirst traps during the pandemic. And, this is one of her latest. Bill, here you go. Here, Bill. So there you go. She's half decent. So there you go. I just want to thank Paige.
Absolutely gorgeous.
I just want to thank Paige, because she's providing some entertainment for the boys out there. So I don't know if you guys know who Paige Spiriniak is, but she is a gorgeous golfer. And listen, don't tell me that I'm being a sexist or anything like that. If you're putting these pictures out there, it's because you're asking us to kind of, appreciate her beauty, right? And, I'm a big fan of her because she's a dog lover too, see? So I just, just in case for those of you out there that you may not be into women's golf, but you might be into Paige Spiriniak, I'm just saying, even this one is a sexy picture and it doesn't really show much. Little cleavage at the top, but she looks smoking hot.
I want to say,
look at that.
I want to say
That's a sexy picture without showing anything.
Here, you know how dedicated she is to doing the show on the Golf Channel?
What?
She was pregnant and out there doing the show.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Look how she plays golf inside the house during a pandemic. I just want to thank Paige Spiriniak. I just want to say, hey, I didn't thank you a couple days ago, but, I got to just say, for those guys that can't go to the strip club and get their friction dance.
Watch the Golf Channel?
Watch her IG.
Okay.
Her IG.
Okay.
She's not doing that on the Golf Channel. She's doing that on her IG. And by the way, she is gorgeous.
She still looks good on the Golf Channel.
She is gorgeous. Gorgeous woman. All right. So there you go. Hank Goldberg's Left Nut says podcast came up on Joe Rogan's show because Joe Rogan is getting $100 million from Spotify. I read that about Joe getting the $100 million, not Joe Rose, but I read about Joe Rogan getting the $100 million for his. Yes, good for him. He does a great job with his podcast. He gets great guests on. He gets them to open up. You know what I mean? And I got to say that, at first when you met Joe Rogan years ago, you never really imagined that, he would actually, that he could do this and then do it at the level that he's doing and having that kind of success. It's fantastic. I listen to the podcast. He does a really good job overall, man. So, yes, good for Joe Rogan, man. This is where we're going. It's more of an on-demand type of society. People don't have time to sit around and wait for, 8-minute breaks to be over. They just don't. They don't want to do that kind of stuff. And they don't want to see that you came back for like an 8-minute segment or 9-minute segment, and then you got to go back to break for 6-7 minutes. Your break is almost as long as your segments. That's those are show killers. I know it because I've done radio for a long time, still do radio, but I do it on satellite. And anybody that has satellite, you've noticed, right? It's very small breaks, only a couple during the hour. You know what I mean? Some hosts would struggle with that. They have to rely on the past and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's harder for people to come up with topics to talk about every single day and actually work at it. You know what I mean? In terrestrial radio, you have 2 and 3 hosts on a show, and they struggle to come up with topics. So then they have to replay old stuff, and then they have to replay interviews that they have inside their show already. Because they played it in the first hour, they'll replay it in the third hour. And so you're just filling more time with the same. Why? Because you can't come up with more conversation on your own. You know what I mean? It's weird. Okay, you don't even have to talk a lot because you don't talk a lot. You only talk like a half hour out of the hour. Here, I talk about 52 minutes in the hour. Easy. Sometimes about 54. Sometimes I don't give you more than a 3-minute break. You know? I mean, there's a couple times that I may walk away, I'm talking with somebody or whatever, and it lasts a couple extra minutes, whatever. But normally, it's weird, man. So, yeah, it's a different deal. And podcasting people love because it's just constant, and it just doesn't stop. And then the breaks are really short, so it allows you, okay, it's a short break, and then you start again. Some podcasts are just, only for 30 minutes or 40 minutes or 50 minutes, and it's a straight 30, 40, 50 minute, and people love that. You know what I mean? On our show, we kind of do it a little different because we don't pre-record it. We do it live. So whatever happens live, it is what it is, and then we podcast it. Because that's the way I like doing it. I'd rather do it live. I think it's more fun live and the interactive and all that. And thanks to you all out there, you have made the show more interactive every single day with the downloads, the questions, everything else, the chat boards, the text machine, the email is now starting to pick up too. And remember, you guys can email me at any time. You got anything for me? Maybe even some news, some secret stuff that you may see developing. You can send it to me at orlando@bigoradioshow.com. Lisa says, hey, I may have missed you talking about this one time, but why is QAM called 560 The Joe now? I have no idea. I don't work there, and I don't know why they came up with that stupid-ass name. I have no idea. All I can tell you, Lisa, is that the people that are running 560 and 790 couldn't find their buttholes with a funnel. Okay? That's all I can tell you. The idiot program directors and station directors and all that they have at Intercom Miami, they have hired a group of people that don't know what the hell they're doing. Okay? Plus, the company also is completely out of tune. They run everything out of corporate. So you're running it out of corporate. Do you really know what goes on in Memphis or in Miami or in Austin or in Seattle? Because all those neighborhoods and all those cities are completely different from one another. You don't. So that's the thing about terrestrial radio. It has lost all of its local connections. They try to throw that ambiance on the air that they're local, but they're not. Promotions are all run out of corporate. Sales are all run out of corporate. Like the connection, even for the sponsor and the salesperson, is less than ever. It's really like it's a complete joke. The hosts rarely ever meet actually the sponsors, which is something that I always demanded when I was doing terrestrial radio. I would have salespeople. Listen to this story, Lisa. I would have salespeople that will walk in and give me copy and say, hey, this starts on Monday. I sold this for you. And I go, it starts on Monday. I never met these people. I don't even know what this product is. Well, it doesn't matter. You're getting paid. No, it matters to me, dude. And whether it was a man or a woman, I would tell them, no, dude, here's a script. Go get me an appointment and set me up with a meeting with the owner, and I want to go see the product, and I want to try it, I want to test it out. And if I like it, then we will move forward. And then he's like, well, you're getting paid. And I go, no, I'm not. No. Because the problem with what I do and what a sales guy does and what the radio station does and what the sponsor wants, okay, And everybody's got a different agenda. 80% of the salespeople that are in this business, all they give a crap about is a commission. 99% of terrestrial radio, all they care about is the sale and the bottom number. Most of the hosts, I'll go with 85% of them, when you throw the script on there, they just read it and they don't care. They don't even meet the sponsor most of the time. They don't use the product. They don't know anything about the product. They're BSing you the entire time on the air. I happen to be a different guy. You know what I mean? Because I have to go try the product. I have to make sure I like it. I have to make sure you know what the hell you're doing. Because if I tell you to come to VSS West Pines and they don't treat you the right way and you don't buy it and you don't have a good experience, you're not going to trust me when I tell you about the next product. You understand? And so if you just grab a sponsor, and you'll notice it, if you pay attention and you listen to the hosts, okay, the ones that you hear have a sponsor today and it's gone tomorrow, and then you see that the sponsors are constantly changing and there's no continuity. Why do you think there's no continuity? Because there's no connection and they don't care about what they're selling you. I do. So first I have to like the product. I have to know the product. I have to use it. And if I'm not using it, I would use it. In other words, you know what I mean? It has to be either or. Because maybe I don't need it. It might be a product I don't need at the moment, but I would use it if I need it. You know what I mean? So it has to be something I believe in. So that way when I tell you, hey, go to Sports Grill, who's been a sponsor of mine for many years. You're going to try their wings and you're going to try their stuff. And you're going to say, okay, so O gave me good advice. You go to Craig's Inaccurate. They're going to treat you right. You know, so then you'll take my advice the next time for the next sponsor. But if I sign one crappy sponsor after another, your bad experiences will never, you'll go, oh, no, that guy, I went to this sponsor of his and that sponsor of his and it sucked. And that's it. And there's no rhyme or reason. So that's why, another reason why I'm kind of glad I do this now, because I get to control everything now. Not just the content, but I also get to deal with the sponsors I want to deal with. So that way I know that they represent our show the right way and they represent you, the customer, the right way. There you go. So yeah, there's a lot of little things that go on in this business that are just, it makes no sense, man. It's a twisted business. It really is. Adam says, excuse me, 560 to Joe has to be the stupidest name ever. I'll bet Intercom hired a bunch of consultants who sat in a room for 8 hours and came up with that name. Why do you change a name for something? See, Intercom was so dead set on making, because eventually once Joe retires, QAM will be all syndicated. You won't hear any local anymore. That's why Joe's the only local show on there. The Hawk and Crowder show, they put it on, they simulcast it on there, but it's a 790 show. You know, notice how all the live shows are pretty much on 790 now. Okay? And they have the lowest ratings out of all of them between the two. So it's funny that the one that has most syndication has a 0.7 and the one that is a lot more live is 0.4. Shows you, again, geniuses. But what are you going to do? So eventually 560, since it's not Intercom's creation, and that's the heritage station in town. Okay, that's the original sports station in our town and one of the bigger sports stations in the country. And so they have now destroyed it and made it just a regular syndicated station. And because Intercom bought 790, even though it wasn't their creation, that's the one that they've backed up from the get-go. So that's the one they're going to try to make live and local for you guys out there. So there you go. A little more insight on it. Eventually, Le Batard will be gone. It's going to happen pretty soon. And then I think Joe has maybe a year left, not more than that. He's kind of tired of them too, you know. So I can imagine that Joe is pretty close to wrapping it up. And once he does, That's going to be a major loss for them, a huge loss for them. So, yeah, really stupid name. Just a thought. Teams should plan to sell a third of stadium capacity, give masks with ticket purchase, space seating and crew, sanitized seats, and railings 24 hours in advance. Yeah. And let me tell you something, Victor. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know, what if it's a third or a quarter of the stadium or whatever, but I wouldn't be surprised if the cleaning people are doing it all throughout the game too. Because people are going to be touching rails. And that's another thing. How many of you now are so conscious about the rails now that you're going down a stair and you're trying not to touch the rail. You're going down the escalator, you're trying not to touch the rails. Right? Isn't that that's something that now is going through your mind? Now this is a good thing because we're now going to get less colds. Okay, forget about just COVID. But now we're going to get the flu a lot less because of all of this. I mean, it's not a bad thing, right? Maybe the new norm, there are some positives to it. The terribly sad part is that we lost thousands across the world. Okay, but, let's hope that if they lost their lives, it's because it's a lesson we need to learn from this and be smarter and better from it. So maybe this protects us from other things down the line. Like I said earlier on the show, this is kind of just a living lesson for all of us at every level, man. The golden age of local radio is long gone. The days of Hank Mandich, Neil, Phil Henry are gone, sadly. Glad we have you, Big O. Thank you, sir. And, yeah, I mean, that's when radio was really radio, man. Okay? And, I was so blessed that I joined radio in the very early 90s. So it was the back end of that run. And to be able to work with Neil and Hank and Mandich and all these guys and come up pretty much, I grew up with those guys. Those are the guys I grew up with, you know what I mean? So it was really, really, really cool for me. I am so blessed that I was able to enjoy a really nice stretch of radio. And those were the Greg Reed years. And then some of the Joe Bell years, too, that I was able to enjoy. But outside of that, it's just been, the Beasley Company I thought was amazing. I really enjoyed working for the Beasley Company. That was my favorite company that I've worked for so far. Although I do love Sirius. Man, they just get it. They're going through their tough times like everybody else. But just overall, how pretty much they treat employees in general, I think it's pretty good, too. I think they do a much better job than terrestrial. Much better job. Let's see. Sports Grill on Bird Road. I made my donation for Miami Children's Hospital charity. Oh, you used to do. Yes, definitely. Eric EJD says, would you say run is our weakest? Run D is our weakest. For the Dolphins? Yeah, definitely, of course. Our pass D is going to be exceptional now. Our run D, I don't know what it is, Eric, right now. I couldn't call it weak. I can't call it strong. I can kind of predict that our secondary is going to be pretty damn good. As long as X is healthy. If he comes back healthy, then we're fine with him and Jones back there. It's going to be phenomenal of a secondary. But the front, they addressed, Eric, a lot of the needs. So now we got to see how they play and everything comes together. So I think they're going to be a better run defense than they were last year. Now, are they going to be a great run defense? I have no idea. That I don't know, my brother. We got to watch it first, and then we will find out.
I'll guarantee one thing.
What's that?
We'll be improved because we can't get any worse.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, definitely. And call Eric, of course, at EJD Construction, folks. All right. So if you're looking for, I'm not talking about a handyman. I'm talking about custom home construction and major home remodeling. They come there with the appointments with the masks and the gloves and everything. So they are safe. 305-318-4978. There you go. He's right there on the chat board. So if any of you need some work at your house, you can see Eric EJD right there. Not just a proud sponsor of our show, but also a listener. He's been listening to our show for 20 years. So there you go. Lisa says, wow, Hawk and Crowder are a 790 show now. I stopped listening to terrestrial radio once you started doing your own gig. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. Very nice. Alex says, Mandich was one of a kind. Loved him on Dolphins commentary. All right, Miami. Finn Strong 1 says, I've listened to sports radio since 94. Well, that means you're old, like me. Omar Lopez says, Miss Mandich, imagine if he was around for this turnaround and Tua leading us to a Super Bowl win. That would be pretty cool for Mandich. That would be good. But, hey, you listen, Jim's watching from upstairs, man. You know he's rooting from upstairs. You know he made the big guy go get some green lizards. And so he's enjoying his green lizards and watching the Dolphin rebirth, baby. I got to listen to some Neil and Mad Dog. I still feel young I still feel young not having listened to them. Well, they were both incredible. Incredible. Super Boom Shack says pass rush is the weakest. Again, Super Boom Shack, I'm not ready to say weak or strong yet, man. They drafted and signed several pass rushers. So they have a rotation now of guys. How good they are, how bad they are, how average they are, how mediocre, how great. I don't know what adjective we can use. I just don't want to put a label on somebody when I haven't seen them play yet. So let's wait. Let's wait. Because I think I learned my lesson last year. I looked at that talent. I said, man, they won't win a game. And they won 5. So let's wait, because these guys are better than the average coaches that we've had here. And if they can, work it, maybe they can get a lot of productivity out of these guys. You know what I'm saying? So I would hold off a little bit on that. Okay? All right, let's do this. Let's take a really quick break here. We'll come back for the final half hour of the program as we take it till 3 o'clock. And I still have a whole bunch of stories, a really cool one in the NFL. I got some stuff that will trip you out. Also, what else do I have? Any music, too? A little music, as always. I got a really interesting stat also in the NFL that I got to share with you guys. Let's take a break. We'll be back in just a couple minutes right here on the Big O Show, live from VSSWestPines.com. Come on out, 12397 Pembroke Road. Come on out, see Jose and the boys. They will take care of you right here at VSS West Pines.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
All right, we are back. You want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line? It's 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. You've got, of course, the YouTube chat board there. We got the super chat, as always, going on here on the program. Many ways to reach out to us. So there's no reason for you not to be able to reach out to us here on the program. I told you I got a bunch of things that I want to talk about. I know, Bill, you're probably disappointed that Very Cavallari is being suspended. It's done. The show is over. No more Kristen Cavallari for you.
Oh, how horrible. Now what am I going to do during the virus?
You see? Kristen Cavallari is pulling the plug on her latest reality TV stint, hanging it up after 3 long years on the heels of her divorce with Jay Cutler. The former Hills star made the announcement Tuesday saying she was not going to continue shooting Very Cavallari. I just want to know something.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
I just want to know, like, the question I have for anybody out there is, why would you watch this? And I can't see a lot of guys watching this. Now, maybe there were a couple of Dolphin fans that wanted to be complete losers when he was a Dolphins quarterback, and maybe you watched some of it. I don't know. I've never watched a minute of this crap. But what I'm intrigued by is, what is your girlfriend or wife finding in Very Cavallari? That's what I want to know. The fact that it's up for 3 years, it has to say that there's some losers watching it. So, what I want to know
look at
is,
the number of losers that watch Kardashians.
how many losers out there, how many of you out there are either married or going out with one of the losers that watch Very Cavallari? You watch it? What the hell is wrong with you? Come here, bro. Come here. Come here. Put him on give him the mic. Give him the mic. What the hell are you doing watching that shit? Oh, can you pull the mic off? The guy's 7 foot tall. No, pull it off the thing. There you go.
All right, so in a nutshell,
Guy's 7 foot tall, and we're asking him to bend over.
I watch
like 2
it
feet.
like you watch a car accident that you just sat in traffic for 3 hours and you just can't help but watch it. So I don't watch it like
so you telling
I'm invested
me
in this. Like I don't watch it in the sense that like.
But wait a minute,
I care enough to be like, I like what's going on. It's just like it's a train wreck, so I watch it.
But
like
wait
the
a minute,
Kardashians
hold
and all
on.
that jazz.
Hold on a second. Is it really you, or is it somebody you're living
Me.
with?
I can't even blame nobody. Me. I T-bone
So you're
that
like
shit.
an outright loser.
100%.
Like you have nobody else to blame why you're a freaking loser, but you're like some guys.
I'll be
can
honest.
say,
My wife doesn't even
girl-
watch it. My wife doesn't even watch it.
Wow.
I watch it. It's like I said. You sit in traffic 3 hours. You're like, God damn this accident, right?
Right.
And then when you get to the accident, what do? You slow down and you watch it.
And you rubberneck.
You just sat in 3 hours cursing the fact that there's an accident.
Right.
When you get down to the accident,
You
you're
wanna
like,
see
you're not
some blood.
speeding past. You're
Right.
like, let me see.
Yeah.
Who is this person?
You want to
That's
see
what
if
I
there's
watch.
an eyeball dangling outside the car or something.
I don't watch
got you.
it like I'm invested and I like the characters and all that jazz. I watch for the stupidity of it all.
okay,
Like
so-
I'm more like I do my spoof reel commentary on what's happening
But I
as
can't,
I'm watching it.
I can't even believe that the
It's
Cavallari.
hard to stomach it. It's hard to stomach it.
But they haven't like the Kardashians have enough of a train wreck. That I understand
they
because
invented it.
They go.
They invented that.
I mean, they go through athletes more than the Dolphins did last year in the
Bless their hearts.
2019
Bless their
season.
hearts.
Okay, I mean the Dolphins signed and cut more players except for the Kardashians. Okay, so I can understand that train wreck, and you're watching that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not. It's not my proudest moment.
And
it's not my
again-
proudest moment.
and
But
there
I'm
is
man
some-
enough to admit that I watched the trash.
And there's
I
some
do.
heavy duty ass on that show. But Kristen Cavallari, how bad is the train wreck? Like Tiger King, bad
That
train
one's not-
wrecks.
Look, so
Kardashian,
Very
bad
Cavallari
train wrecks.
is not on my top list, but I've definitely watched it. Absolutely watched it. It's a shit show though. And I'm now just finding out right now that it got canceled.
Yeah. Oh, you are? So breaking news.
Right now,
there
it
you
broke
go.
my heart.
Wow. Wow, that's bad. That's bad. They say you sound like a Jets fan. You want to steal her away from Jay? I'm just wondering. Okay. All right. So when you guys come out to VSS West Pines, there's only one dude that's 8 foot tall in the place. Okay, and it's Jason. He's the only 8 foot guy here. He's got a beard. You know, what's the name of that guy that I used to watch? That the Grizzly Bears, with the big ass beard. What's his name? Grizzly Adams, right? Wasn't
Grizzly
it
Adams, yes.
If Grizzly Adams had a son, it would be Jason. Okay, I'm telling you. If we start with like the Grizzly Adams Part 2, The Offspring, it would be Jason. Okay, so when you see Jason, who's half Sasquatch, ask him what the hell he's doing watching Cavallari. Okay. So make sure you bust his balls when you're here about Very Cavallari. All right? Just make sure you do that, please.
Like you? 3 years, really?
3 years.
Really?
It lasted 3 years. That's what came to my mind. When I saw that story, I'm like, who watches this to keep it around for 3 years? Like, I can figure, like, I can go grab, like, then I can just go, why don't I just do a series about a Santeria old lady in Hialeah? I got to be able to get more than 3 years out of it if Kristen Cavallari got 3 years out of that. Can you imagine how fun it would be to film a Santeria old lady in Hialeah? Look at the stories you'll get off of that. Be fantastic. That's the kind of stuff I want on television. Big O running hot today. I don't know about running hot.
Look, it shows you where the mentality of people are today, right?
Drewbo's on it. Drewbo says Jason wants to bang her. I think that's what it is. I think he's into her. I think he secretly wants to bang her. That's what it is. You know, he's 8 foot tall. Kristen Cavallari's like 3 foot tall. So he's just imagining all kinds of stuff. I'm with you. I'm with you. Oh, I watched Very Cavallari because I lived in the panhandle of Florida during a pandemic. Wait, Jay Cutler giving 0 Fs? Could be amusing. Reality TV is more scripted than wrestling. It is. It is. You're right about that. Richard McLean wants to chime in and tell us that Kim Kardashian has an elite ass. And you've got a customer here at VSS West Pines giving you a thumbs up, saying he agrees. I will role play as Jay and be lazy to watch it. That's what Super Boom Shack says. I love it. Is Bill watching it? No, Bill's not watching it. Alexa V says the show is pure stupidity. Alexa, it has to be, right? That's why I've never watched it. It's like it's Kristen Cavallari. It's Jay Cutler. Even when Jay Cutler was a quarterback for us, I had no interest in watching it. I've never watched 1 second of that show. I just could not. There's no way.
The only reality is probably the same when I did that Rock of Love thing, and I got sucked into that by my girlfriend at the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and it's like
that was I watched that. That was a funny train wreck.
Yeah,
that was a funny train wreck. I had to watch that because music and all that, so I had to watch that.
You get into the third or fourth episode, it's like I'm in now. I got to ride it out. You know.
I got to admit, I watched Rock of Love, and I watched Flavor of Love. Okay. I got to admit, I did watch those. I'm a loser. I watched those two.
Him and, what is it, Brigitte? Nielsen?
No, Brigitte wasn't. No, that's the
She
Big
was-
Brother stuff. No.
no.
This was Flava Flav looking for a girl, and here's where we ended up seeing Hoops. Hoops won that season with Flava Flav, and most of us that watched that, we were like, because Hoops was smoking hot, and she's like, why would you even want to be with that dude? You know what I mean? She ended up with Shaq for a short time after that, because they didn't get married, they weren't together or nothing. She probably did it more for the fame than anything else, not really for. Because, I mean, look at the guy, bro. Look at Flava Flav. Come on. Outside, what's attractive outside of the money he possibly has? That's it. There's nothing else that's attractive about Flava Flav. I cannot see a woman being turned on by that guy. And if you watched Hoops, she's smoking. Now, I don't know how she looks now, but then she was smoking hot, bro. And you're like, that and her? No. That doesn't make sense. That was one of those like, just. Oh, I bet Bill wears his welding mask and watches it too. Yeah, I bet he does. Probably doesn't tell us, and he's watching it through the welding mask.
The whole time you're saying Hoops, you know what I'm thinking of? The character, what's his name, played in One Crazy Summer opposite Debbie Moore.
Okay. Putting it Finsider says, old Santeria lady living in Hialeah married to Jay Cutler. Ooh, there you go. There you go. That would be interesting. And watching Jay not care about her doing all those Santeria things, that would be actually really entertaining. I would kind of like that. So there you go. Christian Cavallari, she gets canceled. Nice job by Chad Ochocinco. Now, there something came to mind when I read this story, okay? Chad Ochocinco dropped a $1,000 tip at a Spanish restaurant, okay? The NFL wideout popped by Havana's restaurant near Fort Lauderdale, which recently reopened amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Not only did Chad order up some delicious grub, but he blessed the good people with a serious tip. Congrats on reopening. Sorry about the pandemic. Hope this helps. Ocho wrote on the bill, I love you. The restaurant staff felt the love and the publicity shout out from the former Bengals star on social media. We would like to thank Chad Ochocinco Johnson for his continued support. We greatly appreciate your generosity to our employees now during these most difficult times. Many blessings to you and your family. Thank you again. And he left him $1,000. Now, the bill was for $37.40. And my man left $1,000. That is freaking awesome. You know, Chad looks like a fun guy to hang around with. He looks pretty much helpless unless he's getting, maybe mad at his girl and he wants to headbutt her, which, again, I still, to this day, like, dude, how do you headbutt a woman? You know what I mean? How do you headbutt that fine-ass woman, too, on top of all of that? But what were you going to say, bro?
You know what he did after he gave the $1,000 tip? He went down to Walgreens, went and got a pack of condoms, and he remembered to throw away the receipt in the package.
Maybe. That could be.
He didn't get in trouble this time.
Yeah, he didn't get in trouble this time. So, Ocho, the one thing that came to my mind is, how is he making money now? Because I don't want to see him broke in a couple of years, and you start thinking about all the things, because this is not the first time he has been very generous. He doesn't? No? So, but why is he, but then these kind of things happen all the time with him. He gives away a lot of things. I know he's a gamer. Is he making money from gaming? Because I know you can make a lot of money in gaming. He can make more money in gaming than he did in the NFL. If he streams, okay. All right, I didn't know if he, that's why I'm asking, where's he making money? Because if he's just living off of that, I don't know. Jason tells me he's streaming. Now, he does watch Kristen Cavallari, so I've got to really be careful there on that. But overall, I hope he saved his money. I hope it's not a sad story down the line for him. That's all. That's the one thing that I love that he did this because there are people that need it. I just hope he's not the one that needs it later on. You know what I'm saying? Because he worked his ass off to get where he was at and earned his money, and you should be able to live the rest of your life out the way you want and relax. That's the only thing I thought of is, and if anybody has a little insight on Chad's, I don't know, maybe Jason's right. Maybe he does make money gaming. I know he's a gamer because I know he goes to people's houses. In the past, he's done that. He's gone to fans' houses to game with them and things like that. So I know that he's that much into it.
Where he grew up at, Scott Lake Park.
Yeah.
Optimists obviously played several games there. On the visitor side, the baseball field's right behind you. If it started raining, okay, the visitor side of the field would be under 3 or 4 inches of water, and one of the goalposts, like from the 20-yard line all the way to the back of the end zone, was under 4 or 5 foot of water. So if you played a game there and it rained, like you got to this side of the 50, you had to flip and go back to this end.
You said 4 or 5 foot of water, you said.
Oh, 4 or 5 inches.
Oh, okay.
4 or 5. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. No, nobody needed their Jacuzzo scuba suit.
Yeah, no, because they were drowning.
Yeah, Scott Lake Park, where he grew up.
Next thing you tell me, there was a rip current going
played
on,
Optimus. Yeah, man, it was
and
funny.
it took you to the goalpost.
Can you imagine?
That's the only way you scored.
In the middle of a game, you get on the other side of the 50, and it's, okay, we got to switch to the other side of the field because we can't go down there.
I can see it.
That's some funny stuff.
Ryu says Kim's ass minus the Photoshop is disgusting. Looks like a big diaper. Oh, man, you guys are a trip.
You know that all them girls are going to get really sloppy when they get older.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, no. Kim
Kim
Kardashian's going to be like a ballpark Frank. Plump when you cook them. No doubt about that.
Pushing maximum density.
Yes. I mean, having sex with the Kardashians already kind of tough. That's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. I mean, that's just, you better be packing, bro, if you're going on that camping trip. Troy Ortiz says, does Bill shave his head? When you guys were at Hialeah doing a show a few months ago, he was bald. No, you had the wrong person. Bill's far from bald, dude. Dude's got great hair, so no shot at that, bro.
Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, not going to happen. Ian from Brooklyn says he doesn't splurge or drink. He should have a stash. Oh, okay, so then it's what Jason said. But he does a lot of these good deeds.
Because he's got the money to do it, man. He's not spending.
I just hope he's not broke, man. I just hope, a couple of years from now, then you start thinking about all the things he did in the past where he kind of, blew some money. So I hope he's making cash. Maybe he is a gamer and I know the gamers can make a lot of money. You gamers are absolute studs, man. You're making. I mean, back in our day, we were wasting time, and our parents were pissed at us because we were playing games. Nowadays, if your kids are gamers, you can't walk in there with an attitude because you might just have your son or daughter may end up a gamer that's making, a couple $1 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Like that, the Ninja, I think is the name of the kid that he makes like $1 million a month or something like that, or $2 million a month. I mean, the guy is
come a long way from Atari 2600. Hold on. When you go to turn it on, hold down that one button and you get rapid fire on the Space Invaders.
Yeah.
And we were all excited. Yeah. Now these guys are making $1 million playing video games. Yeah. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. It's too funny, man. It's too funny. So Tom Brady has his workout with his teammates in Tampa, and I'm not going to get into, oh, wow, this is enormous and this and that. You know what this is? This is his responsibility. It's you know what it reminds me of? And now those people have disappeared completely. When we had the whole what's it called? The Lonzo Ball craze, right? And we had to deal with LeVar Ball every single day. And I was never a LeVar Ball fan, defender, or believer, okay? To me, he looked like a whore that was trying to raise some kids that can play really good basketball so he can live off of them. And sure enough, that's what happened with his son's sneaker deal and all that. And one partner was embezzling, and he was buying everything really nice for himself with his kids' money. You know what I mean? And so he is what he is. But I remember I used to hear some of the people that would defend him and say, well, at least he's around his kids. Like I'm supposed to give you a reward for that. Well, there's a lot of deadbeat parents. Well, okay, that's what we're supposed to pick on. If you're actually with your kid, I'm not supposed to give you a prize for that. I'm not supposed to commend you for that. You're supposed to be you had the kid, right? Now take care of the damn kid. Right? You got a wife? Well, you're married. Well, then act married. You own a business. Well, he's there every day. Give him credit. He's supposed to be there every day. It's your business. Run it. We've gotten to a point in this society where we want to credit people for doing what they're supposed to do. You're not a great father because you provide a roof for your child. You're supposed to do that, bro. You're not a great father or a mother because you provide food every day for your child. You're supposed to do that. You took on the responsibility of sex, right? You like to enjoy sex. And then there are results from sex, pleasure and kids. Two things you get from sex. And you enjoy the pleasure part, right? Well, when you get your kids, it's not going to be fun all the time. There's responsibilities that come with it. We don't give you a prize for doing your job as a parent. I don't give you a prize for Tom Brady because you went to work out with your teammates. Because I heard a couple guys on ESPN, oh, this is great by Tom. No, that's what he's supposed to do, asswipe. It's a shortened off season. He's new to the team. New system. Go. Ingratiate yourself to your teammates. Get to know them. Go play catch. Go out and have a beer. Break into their homes and talk about game planning. Like he did with the coach, but he broke into the wrong house. He didn't really break in, by the way, folks. He walked into a house that the door was open, which, by the way, that neighbor had the door open. We blame Tom, but we kind of overlooked the fact that Tom walked right into a house and the moron left his door open.
The door's open. Come on in.
Tom Brady did that guy a favor because now he'll lock his door and he won't get shot by somebody now. Okay? So let's just, call it like we see it here. So this whole thing, I'm listening to the guys on, Get Up or what? Oh, this is fantastic, Tom Brady. Great leadership. He's doing what he's supposed to do, bro. They're paying him $25 million a year. He's dead set on winning a Super Bowl without Belichick. This is what you do, bro. You go out and meet your teammates and go work out on your own. Do you remember when the University of Miami football team used to be really good? What did you used to hear all the time? Oh, the guys are working out on their own. They're all together. Ed Reed's come back to teach these guys, and Warren Sapp's coming back to teach them how to hide tests. I'm sorry, whatever. You know what I'm saying, okay? I got to have some fun while I'm doing this. You're doing what you're supposed to do. That's all that Tom Brady's doing. If he doesn't go, if he doesn't have these kind of meetings, he's an idiot. Because then he's only there for the money. We all know that Tom Brady is more motivated than anyone else in the NFL right now. Because nobody wants to stick it up Bill Belichick's you-know-what than Tom Brady. So that's why Tom Brady's doing that. And there's nothing to commend. There's nothing to celebrate. There's nothing to say that he's a great leader and all that. No, he's doing what he was supposed to do. But I don't know what the hell goes on in this society that we're supposed to reward people because, hey, you came to work every day on time. You're supposed to come to work every day on time. Come on, man. It's just, it really is amazing to me.
Just one thing, because you were talking about LeVar. He doesn't get any credit for being a better basketball player than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, you can beat him one-on-one. Super Boom Shack says, Tom Brady spends his quarantine deflating footballs. Hey, it works to his advantage, bro. Watching Jay Cutler in reality TV is like watching Dan Marino and Ace Ventura. Bad acting. I wish we played Brady this year. He's escaping this D. And that's secondary. Let's see. They are booty kissers. Yes, they are. Now I figured out what you were talking about. You play, you pay, Big O. That's what it's called. That's right. That's right. Why do they treat him like he's so special? Are you talking about Brady? Well, no, I mean, 6 titles makes him special. But it's just, I think we have a 24-hour cycle of news lines out of them. And look, I don't have a problem creating a storyline out of something. I really don't. We were talking about Gaspard, the WWE star that lost his life. And I said his last act was, hey, save my son. Don't worry about me. Worry about my son first. I'm not going to create any drama here, and I'm not going to give anybody any credit. I'm saying this guy's a hero. And he's facing death, and he wants you to take care of his son first. That's the kind of stuff that I celebrate. Life is on the line, okay? That's the kind of stuff I want to talk about. But this is Gaspard. We can talk up a hero at that moment. Tom Brady is doing what he's supposed to do. There's no hero here. There's no great leader or nothing. He's doing what his responsibilities are. Do you want to be a great quarterback? Well, you need to connect with your team, dude. You need to get in chemistry with them. You need to practice as much as possible. And you're not going to get enough leading up to the season. So here's an opportunity where you are smart and you get ahead. And that's what you're supposed to do. And that should be going on everywhere in the NFL. This isn't Tua's team yet, so he can't do those kind of things. You know what I mean? So it's a little different. But if you're Tom Brady and you're dying to win a championship without Belichick, and you've made this enormous move by leaving the Patriots, then you are as motivated as anybody else. And that's that's my storyline out of all of this. He's doing what he's supposed to do, but what I see from Tom Brady is that his motivation is not a phony one. He's doing this because he wants to win badly. And nothing's going to make him happier than winning a championship without Bill Belichick. You
also saw the little piece of the story that, Gronk wasn't there. Oh, but he was there a couple days ago. Blah. It's like, man, you guys are really just trying to dig and get anything out there. Right. Story. Anything. Yeah. Anything's a story.
Just create, something out of nothing that's there. And that Brady story, that's creating drama out of nothing. Oh, great leader. Get the hell out of here, bro.
At what point are we going to get sick of the Brady stories?
But that's not
it's going to be all season, right?
But it's not Brady's. Don't blame Brady.
No. I'm not. I'm just saying.
Don't take it out on Brady either because he's just doing what he's supposed to do.
Of course.
We got people on ESPN or Get Up or whatever the hell it was that I was watching this morning, and they're talking it up like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. When this has been going on in the NFL for years, guys work on their own on the side. New players, when they switch teams, they're smart. They want to get a jump and get a feel for their guys and all that. That's normal, dude. This is nothing that we need to, oh my God, this is why he's the greatest. No, he's the greatest because he's got 6 titles.
I'm not blaming Tom, but we are going to get sick of all the Brady news every other day.
24-hour news cycle, man.
This is going to almost get to the point, remember Brett Favre?
Yeah.
And where we're like, man, enough. If I hear one more story, I'm going to throw something at my TV. I could see us getting like that with Brady.
Yeah. The XFL. I know some of you did not watch it. Some of us watched it. I loved it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. The XFL may not be going away. McMahon spent time and energy reviving the XFL for a launch this year and got screwed when the pandemic hit, forcing the cancellation of the season. Halfway through, the XFL filed for bankruptcy, which may have drawn jeers from some corners, but as usual, McMahon knew what he was doing. It seems that filing for bankruptcy was a strategic financial move. How do we know? The Athletic's Daniel Kaplan says the XFL president has reached out to representatives in St. Louis and Seattle about reinstating the leases where the local teams played. Additionally, unsecured creditors said in a bankruptcy court filing that they believe McMahon is attempting to buy back the league and his assets at a low price. McMahon reportedly is attempting to pay $3.5 million back to season ticket holders. Season ticket holders are regarded as unsecured creditors in terms of money given to the league and would be low on the list to receive repayment in ordinary bankruptcy behind other lenders. However, an attempt to refund season ticket holders seems like a gesture of goodwill from someone who might be intending to restart the league. Very smart. Super smart. McMahon owns 80% of the league through Alpha Entertainment. WWE owns 20%. There was no way McMahon was going to put so much into a league and just give up. He's likely planning to revive it, but will probably need new players and coaches so that he doesn't have to pay the ones who were owed money from the canceled 2020 season. Of course, McMahon still has the lawsuit with Oliver Luck. He is fighting over guaranteed pay for the league's former commissioner. So there may be an XFL coming back again. This is all, again, I'm not in that tax bracket, so I'm not smart enough to know all these kind of ins and outs, that by filing bankruptcy this way and another way, he could save money by doing this. And that's his accountants and himself making these kind of decisions. This guy's been making a boatload of money for many years, very successful businesses. So let's not make it sound like this is something that we're shocked, that he's playing chess and the rest of us are checkers.
And he's got the governor in his back pocket.
Yeah, he's going to have everybody in his back pocket pretty much, yes. They love him here in Florida. That's for sure. But I saw that story and I was like, damn, dude, this guy is, he is... I
hope it comes back, man. It was entertaining.
I enjoyed it. Definitely. I love it. Now, the other thing that I was going to tell you guys about is I'm hearing that the NFL is going to lose a bunch of money without fans in the stands, right? And so we were hearing about baseball losing money every day, and now the NFL could lose $5.5 billion of stadium revenue without fans. This is how the story goes. The NFL would lose $5.5 billion of stadium revenue, which is the tickets, concessions, sponsors, parking, and team stores, or 38% of its total revenue based on figures of the 18 season. Mike Ozanian of Forbes reports the impact on the individual teams would vary greatly. For example, the Dallas Cowboys and the New England Patriots would lose over half their total revenue, while the Buffalo Bills, Tennessee Titans, and Cincinnati Bengals would lose less than 1/3. I'll give you the examples. Okay, well, before I do that, we were hearing about how baseball's losing millions every day that they're not playing. Okay? And it's well over $50 million a day that they're losing. Or maybe even more than 70, I think it is. So they're losing a boatload of money every single day that they're not playing. So is the NFL. My only problem about these stories is that I can't give you any sympathy. I can't tell you that I really care. Do you know why? The NFL owners have been making, look, $5.5 billion between 32 people is not a lot of money in their world. Okay? What's 5.5? Can you divide there what 5.5 billion is into 32? Huh? 5.5 billion. Okay? I don't know. Can you put that many zeros? You can? Okay. Divided by 32. It's, I think I have 156 million each. Is that what it is? See if I got it right. You're Mr. Math, not me.
Yes. 156 million.
Each. Okay, so.
Only.
Okay, but for NFL owners, you've been making millions and millions and hundreds of millions for years now. So 1 year that you lose your ass for 1 year, I don't feel sorry for you. I just don't. You're still going to get your TV money, and that'll pay for a lot of what you need. You're not really going to lose a ton. And then when I hear baseball is losing money, well, baseball, you've done it to yourself over the years with all kinds of scandals, all kinds of problems. Your sport doesn't grow. You don't connect with younger fans. Your game's gotten older, and you don't know how to actually connect with people. So you've already lost billions on your own, and now that you're losing more every day, I don't feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for the Americans that can't come back to their businesses because they don't have the money anymore. I feel sorry for Americans we have a quarter of our country is unemployed. Okay? That's who I feel sorry for. That 25% that's out of work. And then there's a whole bunch of you that may have some work still, and you've all either taken pay cuts, there's furloughs involved. I mean, it's not just fired. I feel sorry for the people that are behind months now in their rent and mortgage because most of us live month to month. So it's not like we can all hang out for a couple of months without making any money. That's where my sympathy goes. When I hear that the owners are losing $5.5 billion, it's a lot of money, but for 32 billionaires, you know what, dude? I'm not crying poor for you. I'm just not. I don't care. I'm not worried about it. I'm not losing any sleep. I feel bad for the people. You know how many people listening to us right now and watching? They're out of work right now. So there's several people that are watching this show, several people downloading the show. They don't have a damn job. That's who I feel for. Because we're all losing. Hell, Bill and I, we're not making money right now the way we were before. Why? Because a lot of businesses had to close. So we lost a lot of our sponsors. Hopefully we're going to get them all back once we're back open again and everything's going. But again, this is a pandemic that has ruined lives. And these billionaire owners, their lives aren't ruined. Do you know what this is for them? A speed bump. Do you know what it is for a lot of us? Life-changing, career-altering, depression, all kinds of just disturbing things. Divorce may come from this for some people. I mean, there's a lot of bad things that are coming from this. And billionaire owners losing a few bucks, they're not losing their entire wealth. Okay?
I saw something that if you're a billionaire in the U.S., you've made 10% of your money since the pandemic. It's almost like when the banks failed and whatnot, because of everything going down and them having money to buy and,
buy low.
They figured that billionaires are making about 10% since the pandemic started. So, you're not going to get a tear here.
Yeah, I just these stories about them losing money, I don't care, bro. I don't care that you're losing money, man. I don't care because the NFL's taking all our money for Tua jerseys and all kinds of CD Lamb and whatever, and you're all paying a lot of money for those jerseys. Oh, and did you notice how the NFL took your money for the jersey, but you're not getting it till November? Anybody notice that? Jones right here that dropped off the cigar, he bought one too. Bought a jersey. We were both looking at each other going, dude, we don't get our jerseys till November. Yet they took our money right now. Like when you order on Amazon and you order something ahead of time that's not going to be released for a couple of weeks or a month or whatever, a CD or something like that, Amazon doesn't charge you until they ship it. Right? Like when it's in process of shipping, like if you buy something that can be shipped right away, obviously you'll get charged right away. But like if it's a CD that is not going to be released for a month, I don't get charged right now. No, I get charged a month later when it gets released and they're about to ship it. They charge me. I see the charge, and then I get the CD in the mail a couple days later. That's what the NFL should have done, right? But now, hell, dude, they took our money right away, and now they sit on that money for months.
I was going to say, you should call the NFL and say, hey, I want a cut of the interest.
I mean, give me a break, dude. So listen to this. Stadium revenue. Okay, Jerry Jones and that stadium, $621 million a year in stadium revenue. Is that crazy or what, dude? Okay, 621. The worst in the league is the Buffalo Bills at 104. There's a $500 million difference between the Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills in earning. $500 million. Jerry pays for that stadium every 2 years. I think it was like a $2 billion stadium. So every 4 years, I'm sorry. Every 4 years in stadium revenue alone, it repays for that building. And that's an enormous building. Okay? So number 2, the New England Patriots, $315 million in stadium revenue. Bet your ass that figure is going to go way down now without no Brady. Okay? It'll be under $200 million, I bet, next year. Third place is the New York Giants, $262 million. Fourth place is Houston, $218. Fifth place is the New York Jets, which is $218. Miami, by the way, if you're asking, is at number 11 at $172 million. So New England and Miami will be closer to each other. In fact, Miami may be passing up New England in the next year or two. Because as that team gets better, the stadium revenue will get better because that stadium is going to get packed. Tua's going to sell so much, it's not even funny. So, interesting, huh? $621 million. Can you imagine if the Cowboys actually won something? Think about that. Okay, the Cowboys win nothing at all. They win zilch.
Keep it that way.
They accomplish nothing every single year. And that's why Jerry loves it, dude. Because, oh, yeah, I was in 10th place, but I was first place in profits.
Do you remember when U2 was there and brought their 360 tour? They paid $1.2 million to have the speaker, the lifted so they could get the 360 claw in.
Best stage in the history of concerts for stadiums, okay? Because obviously for arenas, it's a whole. Well, they actually have the best one also in the arena because of the board and everything that they have. But the greatest stage ever in stadium history is U2 360.
Well, hello, during Octung.
It's not even up for debate.
They remember in Octung they were talking to astronauts in outer space.
Yeah. But the 360, that was a genius stage. And, it's funny that you mentioned that because I actually was watching a 360 concert the other day just so I can check out the stage again and everything. And it was such a genius engineering because they made it so big and wide that it made people in the stadium look like they were right next to the stage, no matter almost where you were in the stadium. It was a truly amazing stage show. But anyway, again.
Do you know where they got the idea for the claw?
No.
It's LAX.
Oh,
the LAX. That's where
okay.
they got the idea for it.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. All right. I got it. All right, let's go to a little super chat. Tommy Italian 305, the daily hit, man. Thank you, Tommy Italian 305.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chat.
Oh, gnarly. Awesome. Totally awesome.
And George Albany chiming in on the super chat once again.
What?
Super chat.
No way.
Yes way. No way. Yes way.
They were fantastic.
Super chat. Thank you all out there. Alex Diaz chiming in on another super chat.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chat.
Oh, gnarly. Awesome. Totally awesome.
Thank you guys out there.
Guess which one NorCal likes the most?
The last one.
Spicoli, baby.
A little Spicoli action, right?
This is my brain.
Yes.
I'm so wasted.
Tommy Italian says, I love my teams win or lose, but the average fan in South Florida only spends money when teams are winning or has stars. Yeah, you got to kind of earn it. You know, Tommy Italian, we shouldn't say that, dude. We should not say that. In fact, let me give you an example why you should not say that. What have the Dolphins won? Okay? Think about that. What have the Dolphins won in the last 10 years? You tell me. What have they won?
We got to go to Pittsburgh and get our butt kicked in a playoff game.
All right, I'm gonna walk you through something here, okay? All right, here we go. Are you ready? Let's go to 2015. All right, the Miami Dolphins. Now, I'm not going to go with average attendance because some stadiums are bigger than others, so they have more attendance than others. I'm going to go with percentage that you filled the stadium, the seats that you have to sell and what you can fill, right? Because, you know, some of these stadiums that are really, really small, it's more about what you fill in capacity. 2015, okay, from here up, let's just check it out. Miami was 5th in the league at 102.9% capacity. You figure 100% capacity. I guess they're adding the suites and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how they go over 100, but they did. Over 100. 2016, the Miami Dolphins, 100.3% of capacity. Again, over 100. So they're selling out. Okay? 2017, Miami, 103.5% capacity. I mean, it's, you know, and they used to have like a ginormous stadium, which is not good for our market. 2018, 101.2 capacity, percentage capacity. Last year, I'm pretty sure it went down because they sucked really, really bad. And they were at 97.4% capacity for that team. And this year will be over 100 now with Tua. From here on out, so believe it or not, a team that doesn't deserve 100% capacity, not 97, not 90, not 80, not 50. Okay, because the Dolphins have sucked. I mean, they're terrible. And yet somehow or another, people are still showing up to these games. And they're pretty much filling up the stadium. And I know they eliminated 15,000 seats because of the 4 screens. That makes that obviously, but it also tells you that our market wasn't really built for, you know, that kind of a stadium. Now, if we had a great team every year, we could fill it up, of course. But you think about it, it's not like, okay, like I'll give you an example, just so I can walk you through this. In 2016, okay, Miami is at 100.3%, averaging 65,000 seats. 65,512 in a 66,000 seat stadium. Okay? Now, Dallas is number 1, and they had 92,000. Okay? But that's Dallas. It's completely a freakish thing. So Miami's at 66. Indy at number 2, 104%. They're at 70,293. So they have 3,700 more seats. Seattle has 70,000 than Miami. Philadelphia, 71,000. San Francisco's new stadium, 67,726, right around Miami's. Arizona, 69,107, about 2,500 more than Miami. Houston's number 7, 68,684, just 2,000 more than Miami. Denver is right ahead of Miami. Did you know that Denver has a smaller stadium than Miami? 64,968 to Miami, 66,000. And Denver was at 100.9 to Miami's 100.3. And Denver has fanatical fans. So I just want you to, I want to show you that most of the stadiums are right around the 60s. Okay? New Orleans, 69,520. Baltimore, 70.6. Carolina, 69. Minnesota, 68. Pittsburgh, 68.8. Only 2,000 more than Miami. So it's not like these stadiums are much bigger than Miami. So when Miami had the extra 15,000 seats, it shows you that they were completely out of whack. And it shows you that the NFL likes it somewhere in the mid-60s to 70. Right around there is where they want you to have your stadium. Jerry's a completely, Jerry's world is a whole different ballgame. So, it's one of those where you got to look at it and you say, okay, the stadiums are a little different. You know what I mean? And if Miami was great, they could probably add 30,000 more. You know how we are here. But what I'm saying is they didn't make the stadium smaller because everybody else is having the same ginormous stadiums. No. Miami went to about what the average is everywhere else. Okay? And still to that point, considering that they suck, a lot of people show up to those games, man. It's crazy that you would think. I would never imagine that. In this town, I know this, I've known this for a while, but over the weekend on the Sirius show, if any of you were hearing it, I had a guy also, nobody shows up to Miami, the Dolphin games. I'm like, do you know anything about the Dolphins? He's like, no, yeah. And I'm like, well, they that they're at one of the better capacities. Oh, and I'll get out of here. And then I read the stats. And then you know what the guy said to me? Well, all those stats are lies. So it's just, the argument. In today's society, people are dead set in their arguments and their discussions. And when you give them the other point of view, they don't care, even if there's facts involved. They don't care. It's like, okay, that's a lie. Okay, but these are the official attendance stats for every team. Why would it be a lie for Miami?
But he's taking a cue from Trump.
Yeah, whatever. Just create your own lies.
There's a billion people, at my presidential inaugural.
Yeah. A museum recently bought one of U2's claws. I got to tour the stage before a show. Great design. They had 3 sets of claws. One for the day's show, one for the previous show, and one for the next date. Wow. Did not know that. You figure I figured they would have 2. I didn't know they had 3. That's a nice nugget there. I did not know they had 3. I thought they had 2 because you set one stage and then you got the crew working on the next concert. And then when you're turning down, you're going to the one that follows the next one. And so I thought it was 2 sets. I didn't know it was 3 sets. Wow.
When they were in Canada, in Montreal or Toronto, they were at like the fairgrounds for the county, whatever.
Right.
And they paid like $2.8 million or something to have them redo the walls and all this stuff.
Right.
Just so they could get the claw. And it was like, man, they're paying 1.2 to move speakers. They're paying $2-something million to hey, so we could get the strike. Like, how much money are these guys making?
Yeah, Richard says Dolphin season ticket base over 50,000, so you can't say they don't have a base. No, I mean, that's the biggest misconception out there. Oh, Miami's a terrible sports town. Meanwhile, the basketball team is constantly selling out the Heat. I think UM basketball didn't sell out this year, but they had like 3 straight sellout years. their team took a couple steps back the last couple of years, so I can kind of understand. The hockey team gets half the place full because they haven't gotten over the top yet for many years. And the baseball team has never tried to win, really. And so that's why those have problems. But if you look at all the other things, actually get good attendance. And if the baseball team, if Jeter and Sherman commit, they will get good crowds there. We can become a baseball town. But you can't expect people to go to a crappy restaurant, and they're not going to go see a crappy baseball team. And they're not going to go see a crappy hockey team every year either. You got to make the playoffs, dude. You got to start proving to people. The owners have committed in hockey. They just have now what we've noticed is they have the wrong general manager. Now the owners are going to have to find another general manager. Unfortunately, it won't be this offseason, I don't think. That's the sad part. It won't be this offseason. Damn it. Because of all the money. Speaking of Jerry Jones, by the way, Jerry Jones is back at work. Yeah. He was all pumped up. He should be. I mean, maybe, he's depressed about losing $600 million of revenue in the stadium, but he is happy to be back. And you know what was funny about that story with Jerry Jones is that he's back, and in the video, it shows him with gloves and a mask, right? Play the audio there of Jerry Jones, please, my brother.
It's great to be back in the office this morning. I thought there was no better place than right here in our office, my office, to participate in the virtual league meeting that we're having. In the days and weeks ahead, I look forward to welcoming many of our employees back to our workplace. We're committed to doing what is safe and smart and everything that complies with all the rules from the standpoint of our state, our county, our cities, as well as the NFL rules. This is a big day for our clubs. I think it's a big day for the NFL. I think it's a big day for sports. It's a big day for building confidence. We're going to be very deliberate, but we're also going to be very determined. We will keep a close eye on the comfort and care of our employees as we're involved in this transition. We'll do it the right way.
For those of you watching on video, you got a little bonus. I showed you the video of Jerry Jones, right? And the funny part is he comes in with gloves and a mask. And then he does the video without the mask because obviously you're going to sound muffled. You know what I mean? Some of you always ask me.
No, he wants to be seen, man. Come on, he's on camera. This is my chance.
But some people always ask me, why am I doing the show without a mask? And it's like, I can't do the show with a mask because then I'll sound muffled the entire time, and it's just not going to be good audio. So unfortunately, I have to do the show this way. It's the only way I can do a radio show, unless I can come up with some kind of a mic or something like that. But anyway, so he comes in with the mask and the glove, and you can tell it's all for show. Right as he's doing the message, there are no gloves on, which he could have kept the gloves on during the message, not the mask, because obviously he's got to talk into the camera, and you don't want it to sound muffled. Like now you hear reporters sometimes do their stand-ups, and it's it's a little muzzled, the sound, because of the mask. But I find it funny that Jerry's sitting there with the mask and the gloves, walking into the facility, and then immediately is taking off the gloves and the mask because he's not going to wear the gloves and the mask. It's just people will stay away. It's like the president does. People are so hung up. Well, why aren't you wearing a mask? He doesn't have to wear a mask. He has his people stay away from him. That's it. You have your CIA guys, or what is it, CIA or FBI? Which is the ones that are right next to him? Is it FBI or CIA? I think
Secret Service.
It's Secret Service. Okay. Those dudes and women will keep everybody away from Trump. What the hell you need a mask for if you're Trump? What do you need a mask for if you're Jerry Jones? You just can't come into my office. You need to reach me? Call me on the damn phone. Send me a text. That's it. Guys like that, women like that, people like that in those kind of power positions, they don't have to wear a mask. They have enough power that they can keep everybody away from them.
Keep those people away from me.
That's it.
Job done.
That's it. Saban used to have a red velvet rope around the front door of his office in the Dolphins training facility, so you wouldn't walk right in front of his door in that hallway. You would have to go around the rope. That's right. Couldn't say hi to him in the hall COVID thing. He had a garage door opener for his door, so you walked into his office and sat down. He closed the door. He didn't want any more germs coming from the outside. You couldn't walk in front of his door to spread any germs. You couldn't say hi to him to spread any COVID. Saban was way ahead of the times. A lot of people don't realize that. I'll tell you. All right, we are pretty much done here on the program.
Are you sure?
By the way,
Are you sure? Are you sure?
One more thing before we go. Judas Priest, go to their YouTube page. I think there's only a couple days left. They released a concert that was filmed in London in 2012, the Epitaph Tour. I saw that tour here, and that was the first tour with Richie Faulkner. He does an awesome guitar solo in Another Thing Coming. It's a 2-hour and 20-minute concert. It's loaded. Halford does Victim of Changes, which is awesome. So I'm just telling you, check out the concert because they're going to take it down in a couple days. Like they did over the weekend, they had the Prince one and they had the Freddie Mercury one that were fantastic. The video quality in this Judas Priest one is exceptional. Okay? The sound is great. I tweeted out yesterday. Actually, Richie Faulkner retweeted my tweet talking about the concert and his solo. So thank you, Richie Faulkner, for the love. But check it out on the Judas Priest channel on YouTube. I don't know exactly what's left, but maybe another day or two, no more than that, and they're going to take it down. Trust me, if you're a Priest fan, and Tipton is there for the whole concert, okay? Because at that point, Parkinson's had not, been in effect. So you get all of Tipton in this concert, just in case for those of you that have not seen it.
Just if you were wondering how far.
Oh, God, your throat, dude. You are terrible, bro.
1 minute, 1 hour, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Usual.
All right. Julius 305 on the super chat. Thank you, Julius 305.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chats.
Oh, gnarly. Awesome. Totally awesome.
Julius, you're amazing, bro. Every day, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you there and supporting us. NorCal says Saban flattened the curve before it was cool. Yeah. He also flattened the Dolphins, too. He kept flattening the Dolphins because the Dolphins were on a flat for a while now until Greer and company took over. Tommy Italian says, take care of all my friends. Be safe. Alex Diaz says, my fiance got into a fist fight with a Patriot fan last season because he kept on touching her on the side of her face. Then he mushed her on the side of her face, and then she had enough. Oh, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Halford pulls on stage on his Harley. Yeah, it's awesome. He brings the Harley on every show. Salute, Big O and Bill. Thank you, Ian. King Short says, hey, love you guys. Fins up. Richard says, what time do you start tomorrow? 11. It's only when we're here we start at noon, and that'll be next month again. For the next Wednesday, we'll be back on at 11, but we'll be in studio next week. Drubo says, stay safe, folks. Be smart. Don't be like the dumbass Costco customer. No mask. Dougie Fresh chiming in on the super chat. Before we're gone, he chimes in. What? Super chat.
No way.
Yes way. No way. Yes way.
They were fantastic.
Super chat. And Dougie Fresh says, get Bill a welding mask with this money. You got it. We'll definitely get him that welding mask. Folks, you all be safe out there. We thank all the great people out here at VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. I promise you, you will not be disappointed when you come out here. You will leave happy because it's a happy place to be. And then you will get your CBD, and that's why you will be happy. You will be pain-free. You will be stress-free. if you come on out to VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. They have curbside pickup too, so you can call them if you want. 954-613-3367. 954-613-3367. You can order by phone. They'll bring it out to your car if you want, but if you want to get off and see all the great goodies in here, you can do that also, folks. So thank you all out there. You all be good. You all be safe. We thank Bill and Philippe, as always, doing great work on the YouTube side. Bill dominating on the audio side, as always. And, of course, all the great people out here at VSS West Pines. Tomorrow, we're at Toyota of Hollywood from 11 to 2. And then on Friday, we'll be out at Craig's Inn Acura from 11 to 2. Also having some fun. So a couple of other places you can come on out and hang out with us. Y'all be safe. Much love out there.
Till tomorrow. See ya.